time. Whoa, Howard! Where can you be? Don't you know it's episode 203? Howard. Howard, we got a show to do. Howard, where did you go? Look, I have all of the supplies you asked for tonight. Howard? Howard. Howard, we have a show. We're on live right now. Howard, this is a super important show. It's our first 11th hour match, and it's the final match before round 2 begins. I went out, I got everything we needed. I thought you were ready for this. Howard?
Hey, Giselle.
There you are. Yeah, we got a show to do.
I've had a great time this weekend. I mean, here we are again. You, me, and Avi.
Yeah, we had a great birthday trip.
Celebrating my birthday.
So much fun yesterday.
I've had a great time.
Right? Those water rides?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. But the reason I went to Dorney Park with you guys had nothing to do with my birthday. I want to tell you why, but we need to sit down.
Howard, what do you mean? What?
Just...
What? We're here. We're having fun. We're celebrating you.
Giselle? JW's family lives in Allentown. And I was going to, the reason I came to Dorney Park with you guys was to,
Howard?
I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking, but they were going to meet me. And it wasn't going to be a pleasant experience, Giselle.
Are you...
But you know what?
Implying what I think you're saying? Like, Howard, you don't need to resort to violence to win your match. You don't believe me? Ask the guy with the camera. Nobody, Avi, he set this whole thing up for you. Birthday, celebration. Haven't seen you in 20 years. Get to do fun things together.
I personally don't care what happens in the JW match. What I care about is my friendship with Avi. So, when my match with JW comes around, come win, come loss, JW is going to be nothing more than a relic from a bygone era. But you're right, Giselle. It's green room time. Yeah, the last tournament match, huh? And you can win money. I can win money. The last spot, you can win money. The last spots in the second. The last spots remaining.
That's a really big deal.
It is. So, Giselle.
Yes.
Avi, let's make some magic.
At the 11th hour.
Sellers has Jordan. Jordan with 2 seconds to go. Puts it up and scores at the buzzer. Michael.
2 Warriors, 2 champions, going the full 15 rounds.
This has just set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana. Touchdown, John Taylor.
You lose concentration of fighting your dead meat.
You're sheer 9 or 10. You're probably 9.5.
Oh.
10 is no one's perfect. But honest to God, you're terrific. You do your homework, and
I appreciate
I've done
that.
Everybody. I've done everything. I've done in the '80s. I did Johnny Carson. I did Merv Griffin. I did it all. And you're very energetic and good. And you ask the right questions.
Works for the DEA. He was working deep cover until you
think I like this hair, man? You think I like these clothes?
First name Tom. How are you, my friend? I could turn the volume lower if you'd like next time. If you'd like me to do that, Tom. I could do that.
Wow, that was something else. I don't know what I can do now.
OPP, how can I explain it? I take it frame by frame it. To have y'all on jumping, shouting, saying.
But these rhymes are going to wind down as I've reached the home stretch. The one and only stretch.
Yo, that was dope.
I
You
appreciate
better
it.
than a lot of these rappers out there. Hats off to you, because when you could stay on and do this, I could have stayed on for hours more. I love different topics, just reaching other things we never ever spoke about. That's what make interviews fun. So hats off to you, man. Appreciate you.
Means it.
Brilliant.
Every bit as good as Richmond's move in the first half.
Tim, overall, did you have a good time, my friend?
Man, this was incredible. You know what? And I love it, man, because it got me thinking like I was back in school again. It was like an educational moment. Trying to like a science test or a math test. I'm like, what? I don't even know where you come up with these questions. I want to know how you do these kids. You're so innovative. I'm like Trish said, I can stay on here for 3 hours. But
Likely. More to his liking going against McElvain. Stuffed through by Joe Smith.
Last name Smith. First name Joe. Joe Smith, welcome, my friend.
Oh my God, Avi. Where did you get all of that from? Oh my God.
The United States is a no-smoking nation. No smoking, no drinking, no drugs, no women.
Well, thank you very much. I can't think of a better way to begin the new year than with you.
Dickerson. In his first 4 years in the NFL, he scored 57 touchdowns.
Last name Dickerson, first name Eric. Eric, how are you, my friend?
What's up, Bobby? How you doing, man?
I am doing well, my friend.
I'm like, D, I know you're a poet.
I don't know about all that, man. You like the intro?
Yeah, I loved it. I'm still laughing. I didn't know that about myself. Definitely. This I think my top. Because when you do the intro you gave me, I gotta give it to you. I like.
You deserve it.
16 for good protection again. Going deep. He's got Clark in the end zone.
Being and legend. Last name Ripien, first name Mark. Mark, welcome, my friend.
Holy smokes, Avi. Where did you get that information from? That's amazing.
Outside, Maloney, Johnson at the buzzer.
A warm welcome to a legend of a man and a player. Last name Johnson, first name Eddie.
Let me tell you something. When I have a retirement party, even at my funeral, you better show up.
Never realized it before. I guess a lot of people I know are jerks.
Right. Mariel Hemingway, welcome to the green room.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, what a lovely introduction, truly. Thank you so much, and thank everybody out there that's listening right now live. I think that's so cool. It's like Saturday Night Live all over again.
First name Michael, last name Cooper. Mr. Cooper, welcome, my friend.
I mean, that was fantastic. The only other person that has that kind of spontaneity and the gift of gab was the late, great Chick Hearn. And we thought Golden Throat was gone, but he's reincarnated in you. I had a wonderful time, Avi. This is, you know what? You gave me good eargasm tonight, man. I love your voice. I love the things that you talk about, man.
I'm here to tell you that Dr. Ashton won't be able to perform your surgery tomorrow. He's been subpoenaed in a malpractice suit.
Italian man named Skippy or Unicycle.
I'm sorry, Italian man named Skippy. Put me away, Avi. That.
Very well then, $2 million. You haven't got enough money to buy my daughter off. Nonsense.
John Amos.
Man, what an introduction. I hope I can live up to that. And God bless you.
I'm looking forward to you, Avi, giving me your thoughts and your input, because as I told you, that piece that you sent me is, I love good writing, and I think
Thank you,
that's been
sir.
the secret of my career. And this is a beautiful piece of writing, as I said. I'm referring to the piece that you wrote me. You're onto something because you're a writer. You're creative force, and I want to hook up.
Thank you so much for that.
Weaving through traffic, through three players, four, all the way in. Dishes off to Coop for the bucket.
Do you have a good time, my friend?
Wow. Okay, so I wouldn't have agreed to do this had I known you were going to make me cry. Wow. Just powerful.
Hands are taking the throw. Norton. He's got him slugging, I believe. He's got him scoring. Good combination.
Thank you for everything you do, my friend.
Thank you. This is beautiful. I love it.
Thank you.
Signals the play. Behind the end line. They put him again.
Avi is a poet, but he doesn't know it, but his feet show it.
You're unbelievable.
I am so grateful for our friendship. And you know what? You appreciate things in people that make such a difference. You make each of us feel like we're more than know how to even thank you.
I didn't do nothing, man. I do for you. It was my life, man.
It was a total pleasure. I loved this game. It was so much fun. Thank you.
Thank you. That's the best introduction I've ever heard in my life. You know something? You need to quit the show and be my moderator and travel with me because...
Jesse Ventura, welcome to the TKN Celebrity Tournament, my friend.
Thank you, Avi. It's great to be here and great to be back interviewed by you. It's been far too long.
Have fun tonight, my friend?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Being
around people who are willing and open, I like that.
Rob Van Dam, welcome to the Celebrity Tournament, my friend.
Wow, dude. And that is amazingly everything that's happened in my life up till this moment right now.
And I really thank your support. I lost my father, and you were the first person to support me in all that, and I thank you so much for that.
And you had fun tonight?
I did. Thank you, Avi. It was really, it was intellectually stimulating, and which is kind of a unique thing in this world of ours today.
And Avi, great job. This is interesting and different.
Oh, my dear, my dear, my dear, what an intro. Wow. Boy, did you do your homework. Whoa. You know, I didn't even know some of that.
Had a fun time?
I did, yeah. It was very interesting. Yeah, very different. Yeah, I liked it very much. Fun, and I learned a lot.
That's what it's all about, entertainment.
You have accomplished something that is absolutely amazing. It's amazing. There's no words to describe what you are doing. You are getting the best out of everybody, out of every discipline, and you're putting it out there and sharing it. You know what? Your show should be in every school. What you are doing is educating. The world is a better place thanks to you.
So, like I told you that this show
should be on mainstream television because it's the only show that I've ever been a part of that I feel like is actually solving the world's problems through the fact that you have people that are experts. Every athlete that I've ever met, they would love this show. How do we get all of the academics, the athletes to watch this? There is nothing that was on TV tonight that even remotely rivals what we did on this broadcast. The greatest wealth is when you can share it with someone. You can share your victories, you can share your failure, you can express your deepest feelings, but the greatest wealth is to be able to say that I have a friend. And I feel an unbelievable level of wealth. And a lot of that is because I have somebody like you.
It had nothing to do because they wanted to abolish federal laws, right? So it had nothing to do with the southern states wanting to assert their authority over the federal government, right? There you see it, guys and gals. I'm about to bring in 3 incredible luminaries. 3, not 1, not 2, but 3, who will be here for the TKN Celebrity Tournament, 11th hour. 2 out of 3 will advance. You guys will be voting, of course. It is Saturday night, guys and gals and pals. We appreciate your attendance. And guys and gals and pals, if you're a fan of fiery, unbridled passion, that intro says it all, as it can melt the South Pole. This place we call the Green Room is filled with edutainment and has plenty of heart and soul. It's time I listen to Stanislavski and take a beat as I process everything in real time. This is the 203rd consecutive episode of The Green Room, a feeling that cannot be expressed through a mere rhyme. With a bevy of views on 53-plus pages week in and week out, innovation is our name and the sweat is the sweet. Dedication, labor, innovation only arrive when your effort is absolute, so put that in a tweet. And in this celebrity tournament that has captivated the masses, the field is one of a kind. Luminaries from all walks of life gathering to compete for the pride and the prize. This is truly a sport of the mind. Sure, the numbers are fantastic on 53 pages, not including my own. But what's even sweeter is the sweat. By that, I mean good old-fashioned work ethic, wholehearted passion, effort, and consistency never lead to regret. Guys and gals, you are the author of your story. Don't edit your vision due to others that secretly poo while attempting to obstruct your view. With 13 grand, a trip for 2 to Greece, and becoming the first champion of the star-studded field, a lot is on the line. But your audience, the engine that makes this thing go, are the sweet nectar that we appreciate like fine old wine. As strangers become friends and we all come together, let's remember that we are closer than one might surmise. Limitless visions of innovative bliss experienced by an ensemble is the vision behind these eyes. Never hate the flower for starting out as a seed. Long distance running is essential. This isn't a stampede, so don't run anyone over on your way to the top. Focus on yourself and never forget to cheerlead. Root for your loved ones and lift people up. This human fortune cookie hopes that we've all agreed that positivity is something we can never concede. Guys, in just under 8 months, the new network YouTube channel has a whopping 64,000 subscribers in only 8 months. For 18 months in a row, on average, 3 different luminaries have appeared each episode live on a Saturday as they participated in round 1 of the most star-studded, thought-provoking, and positively uplifting tournament of them all, the TKN Celebrity Tournament. 119 Hall of Famers as of tonight from the world of sports, wrestling, music, along with Oscar, Grammy, Tony, Emmy, Golden Globe, AMA, WGA, and Olympians have entered this tournament, and they've entered our hearts. It's been an honor coming up with and writing nearly 400 different topics in total. 3 topics each and every Saturday night. The last 4 matches of round 1 has garnered over 6-figure views over on our YouTube channel. Nearly 2 million views. 2 million of you have seen what TKN's all about. A podcast network? No. A talk show related network? Sure. Storytelling, live theater, and a game show all rolled into one? Definitely. A place that has never put up the closed sign despite life, health, obstacles, more life, and scheduling? Yes. I'm proud of that last one. Very few people can produce a live show that is all-encompassing, that has something for everyone without taking one single break in nearly 4 years. Very few people know that the absolute feeling of success, because their definition of success relies solely on the textbook meaning of the word: money, profit, numbers, pomp, and circumstance. But there are many that have heard me express my thoughts on the above by mentioning time and again that there are no guarantees in life. We here at TKN believe, and we believe because we believe what TKN stands for. We've all witnessed these incredible human beings bare their soul, because my goal has always been about placing emphasis on equality. We're all one and the same. Sure, the prize of 13 grand and a 5-day trip to Greece is terrific, but how many times have we heard from these incredible talents express the fact that the true prize is this experience? Friendship, togetherness, purpose, work ethic, drive. I'm proud that there has never been a repeat episode. I'm proud that we're different and we're not run-of-the-mill. I'm proud of the fact that it takes 4 to 5 days worth of work to produce one singular episode, and work is not a dirty word. I'm proud that I have amazing guys and gals, human beings around, because this craft known as storytelling, guys and gals, now the studio believes in what we're doing because of you. You're the engine that makes this thing go. Be in love with your goals. Guys and gals, let me bring in our first participant. Let's welcome her in right now, guys and gals, to this massive celebrity tournament that features over 119 luminaries from all walks of life. What an 11th hour match this is going to be. We're knocking on the door of round number 2 with our first 11-hour match. Guys and gals and pals, she's an incredible storyteller and assists many when it comes to mental health. She truly gets the most out of life. She's there for the less fortunate and helps them eliminate any and all strife. She reminds the masses that there is no need to get mean. Why not get serene? Let's break the routine. She's genuine, heartfelt, intelligent, talented, and an absolute gem of a human being. Her ability to resonate with the masses through honest works is definitely worth seeing. A walk through life, alone and abandoned? Not with us, unless you might be my ex named Amanda. Her sense of humor is something to behold, and can even wake up a groggy and confused panda. So let's welcome to the celebrity tournament a Jill of all trades, the one and only Miranda. Miranda, welcome to the TKN Celebrity Tournament. Second chance, Bo. Welcome back to the green room.
Oh my gosh, Avi. I finally got an introduction like that. I've been waiting so long, and it was amazing. Thank you so much.
You deserve it. You deserve it. There's 2 other incredible human beings in the back who are going to grace us with their presence. You're one of them as well. You're back on the green room. It's been a long time. I know people are smiling right now in the comment section. They're commenting all over the place. Miranda, you are back in the green room. 11th hour match.
Yes.
Are you here to win the entire tournament, my friend?
Hell yeah, I'm here to win. I mean, not only do we have the amazing prizes, the $13,000, the trip to Greece, but this right here is about redemption for me, honestly. So it's about the pride and the prize.
The prize and the prize. Guys and gals, $13,000, 5-day trip to Greece. And remember, 6 rounds in total. 2 out of 3 will advance to round 2 tonight. 2 out of 3 of these amazing human beings will advance to round 2, which is literally right around the corner. That's why we're calling this an 11th hour match. Over 100 luminaries in round number 2. 6 rounds total. It's kind of like the NCAA tournament bracket system. We have eliminations across the board. At the end, one person will hoist that trophy, get the 13 grand and a trip for 2 to Greece. Can't wait. But here's the real gem. The real gem is we're all winners because we're not divisive. We have conversations, not controversy. We preach edutainment, and we bring everybody together. And that's what it's all about, Miranda.
Right.
I will put you backstage and bring in our second participant right now, guys and gals. We do have 2 topics. I'll delve into them in a moment. But first, I want to provide a quote when I bring in my next participant. A genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus, but a molder of consensus. We sail within a vast sphere, ever drifting in uncertainty, and we're driven from end to end. The latter rings true when beginning to describe my next guest. His ambition, coupled with limitless talent, has always been on full display for the masses to observe. His work epitomizes the unselfish collaboration, as he's created such great harmony with fellow colleagues. Our second participant is also class personified. He exemplifies the spirit of positivity and happens to be one of the all-time greats. He set goals and accomplished each and every one of them. He's turned the invisible into the visible through sheer dedication and tireless effort. He was born to Father James Smith and Mother Margaret on March 3rd, 1966. He got interested in music from an early age and immersed himself right into the mix. He was dedicated and humble, and the melody called his name as he remained transfixed. Soon, brick by brick, he'd bestow unto us poetic delights that were honest and truthful regardless of your clique. Just to be sure, this man, guys and gals, can rock it if you give him a stick. She, guys and gals, his mother, did so much for him. Personally speaking, it makes my heart rather calm when giving up to the unsung heroes, especially his mom, who raised him, guys and gals, and his older brothers, as his father died in 1972. By this time, his passion for music grew and grew. He formed a rap trio called AAA, and after graduating from high school, he formed a rap duo with a local record scratcher named M. Walk. He had substance and style, all the while innovating like Pete Maravich when he was an Atlanta Hawk. After junior college, he would try his hand at real estate, but soon he'd have a lot on his plate. Yet we were the ones satisfied, filled to the brim with his lyrics that were great, and it was fate that yours truly won a talent contest, belting out his lyrics, in the process creating a fan out of Principal Tate. As she called my folks later on the phone, she inquired which artist did Avi emulate. My parents let out a groan, and little Avi was frightened as Papa Klein could have a temper like a mid-90s Jerry Sloan. But I let him know it's cool, Pops. Let me teach you a thing or two about tone. As his music is for all to embrace, even those that are grown. He's an original. Even if you tried, you could never create a clone of a rapper that sits atop a hip-hop throne. You couldn't even hold him back as he ran with purpose like Gale Sayers. He began rapping over instrumental passages on records by Frankadelic and the Ohio Players. His poetic genius and artistic talents revealed a man with limitless layers. In 1987, two record promoters, Matt Dyke and Mike Ross, signed him to the record label Delicious Vinyl. For a young freestyling Avi Klein, he was the best in the biz. My decision, and yup, that was final. The man is a Grammy Award nominee, not once but twice. His flow was smooth, like an in his prime three-point specialist Glenn Rice. His debut album is on the Mount Rushmore of any debut albums with incredible hits such as Funky Cold Medina and I Got It Going On. It sold 2 million units and was certified for double platinum. In his first single, Wild Thing, it shot to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. The man was on fire. It's because first and foremost, he preaches positivity and reminds us to work for our desire. In 1990, he won an AMA award for favorite dance artist, and soon he'd showcase his range on the small and big screen. With incredible roles in Posse, Poetic Justice, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, Blank Check, Heat, Titan, Rock, Touched by an Angel, Living Single, Martin, and so much in between. The man made studios plenty of green, as his work was honest and truthful scene after scene. His voiceover work in Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest, and King of the Hill definitely inspired. His passion, kindness for all, and positive outlook in life is definitely something I admired. His first single, Wild Thing, is the first rap song ever to be certified platinum, but his heart is already gold, as he made a commitment to make a difference, and he's helped many a folk. He has a fun side and can make you laugh harder than a Letty Bruce joke. He's as real as they come. There are no mirrors or smoke. So put your hands together for a kind, humble, talented, intelligent human being. First name Tone, last name Loke. Welcome, Tone Loke, to the Celebrity Tournament, my friend.
Ooh, yo, what's up, man? That's a hell of an intro right there, I must say. My God, are you out of breath?
You deserve every bit of it, my friend.
My God. Well, I just took over, you know what I'm saying? Everything is cool back here. We just hanging like wet clothes and all this and everything. So, you know, everything is all right.
Gotta tell you, I appreciate you. Big shout out to Val, who's a great human being. Tone, man, you deserve a lot because, again, you've helped a lot of people. You always keep things very, very authentic, genuine, and real. You're an amazing storyteller. You're an amazing actor. You're an amazing performer on many, many levels. This tournament, much like yourself, has many luminaries involved, regardless of whether it's a Hollywood great, an athlete. Tone, are you here to win the entire thing, my friend?
I'm going all the way, baby. I'm ready to go to Greece, man. I need to go out that way. You know, I've never been to that particular part of the world. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Been a lot of places, but I've never been there.
Never been to Greece. Yeah, me neither. I would love to be there myself, my friend.
Right.
Hey, any chance, and this is, again, for a lot of the kids who watch the show as well, there's a lot of people that will always say, including myself, that your lyrics not only inspired us, but they taught us something about humanity at large. And it was so necessary when you grew up. It was so necessary during a time where people didn't quite experience your voice and the voices of many that were voiceless. So I want to tell you, it's more a statement than a question. I want to say thank you.
Oh, well, thank you very much. You know what I'm saying? I'd like, thank you very much. And I'm glad that I did have my little small piece to the world, you know, and showing other people how to have fun. So
much more than small piece, my friend. Again, you've done so much. Guys and gals, this is someone who, again, I call him hip-hop royalty, but getting to know you is going to be something I look forward to, my friend. I appreciate you a ton, appreciate what you do. I'm going to put you backstage and bring in our third participant.
No doubt, appreciate it. Just sitting back here in the dressing room, hanging out, baby.
I love it. Guys, the great Tone Loke. The great Tone Loke. We're going to see momentarily in about 1 minute with Miranda as well. I want to bring in our third participant, who is an absolute gem of a human being. He's become a very good friend. Shout out to his son, Casey, as well. Just delightful people, and I really appreciate them wholeheartedly. Guys and gals, I have a quote for him as well from Howard Coble. Howard Coble said, "The Coast Guard has long been known as the armed service that gets more done for less." And I agree. Gratitude's in action. And the third participant tonight is a man that epitomizes the word class. He's class personified. He's a man that is as multifaceted as he is talented. His range and depth are quite vast, and his outlook is always refreshing. Time and again, he's filled a blank canvas with beautiful works of art that go several layers of magnitude deep. He's an honest, down-to-earth man. He has a mature emotional intelligence, and he dives beneath the surface, which helps expand what is both honest and creative. He's provided many a smile and laughs to the masses, and has also inspired many. He's a humble human being who made us think, feel, and laugh. When he was on stage or on screen, our interest was piqued as we perked like a giraffe. He gave us everything, not merely half. He always took care of the riff-raff. Everyone dropped their dimes as they told their friends to tune into good times. He treated everyone the same. It didn't matter if you were wearing suits. He inspired us all as the masses were educated and captivated by the miniseries Roots. He's become a terrific friend and someone that I thoroughly enjoy working alongside. Writing and producing upcoming films of his perhaps is a pleasure, a great source of pride. He's eloquent, articulate, respectful, and a rarity of a human being. His body of work is second to none, a delight worth seeing. He's tireless, and his passion never subsides even one iota. The man goes above and beyond, never settling for second best or the standard quota. He's done it all in the film, TV, and stage industry and is respected by his peers like a don. So let's welcome him in, my dear, talented friend, a thoughtful human being, last name Amos, first name John. John, welcome, good sir.
Well, thank you for having me back, Avi. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and your incredible array of fans that cross the spectrum of humanity.
Thank you so much for that, John. And thank you for the art that you've provided us throughout the years. But I want to thank you for your friendship as well. I want to thank you for being one of the most genuine, honest, and humble human beings I've ever met. And I mean that from the heart.
Well, I appreciate that, Avi.
Guys and gals, John Amos, I'm going to ask you the same question, my friend. This is a great tournament that we have here. We learn about each other, which is great. So we always walk out winners. But would it be nice to win the $13,000, go to Greece for 5 days and 5 nights, and win the whole tournament, my friend?
It would be wonderful. I look forward to the opportunity.
Absolutely.
I'll be forever grateful.
Well, my friend, I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful for, again, you being one of the good guys in this great industry. Guys, this is Mr. John Amos. This is Mr. Tone Loc. And this is Miss Miranda. And they're all on screen as you hear right now. Welcome, guys.
Thank you very much. Hey, you know what?
Hi, Miranda.
Whether you put this on air or not, man, I just want to say to John Amos, man, you are the coolest, man. Good Times, one of my OG favorite shows, man, from way back in the day. You know what I'm saying? You the coolest, man. I'm digging your father figure image. You the shit. S-H-I-T. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You beautiful down there, sweetheart. But I gotta give John Amos his major props.
It's an honor to be on screen with you both. I'm so excited.
Thank you, Tone. Back at you, buddy.
Respect, my brother.
Keep it on.
Respect.
All about respect, guys and gals and pals. And I'm going to say this very quickly. When I met Mr. John Amos in New York City, and we broke bread with his wonderful son a couple years back, I love the passion you still have for the arts. Halley's Comet, an amazing project. Your ability to create right here and through writers' rooms that we've had before in the past, John, working on that script. One of the highlights of my life. There's no doubt about it. Hopefully the studio could listen to this and send me some work that I actually want to work on that has substance, like John's Halley's Comet, which is amazing. Guys and gals and pals, I'll start with topic number one, and I'll introduce topic number one right now. We'll start first with Mr. Amos, then Mr. Tone Loc, and then Miranda. They could go on as long as they want. John, I'll start with you for topic number one, which is all about nonverbal communication. I think it's the unsung hero of our daily interactions. I think it's overlooked, but it's an integral part of our communication with others. What if it comes to matters of the heart? In one of my screenplays entitled The Heart Speaks Volumes, two supporting characters are not reliant upon their words, but rather their nonverbal communication when it comes to strengthening their bonds. John, could you provide a detailed example of a time in your life where nonverbal communication benefited you greatly? And whenever you are ready, good sir.
I would say anytime I've worked on stage, particularly worked on stage where you might have not forgotten or gone up on your dialogue, but decided that the physical action between you and your fellow actors was much more important than any words. That's nonverbal communication as far as I'm concerned. And it happens a great deal more on stage than it does in any other medium, I believe. So I love working on stage because you get a feel for the other talents that are on stage with you, and they have that same feeling with you. So nonverbal happens for me all the time, especially if I'm on stage. And nonverbal communication happens between all of us human beings and our pets, our animals, whether they be a dog or a cat or a bird. We don't talk with them because they don't speak English. They don't speak, but they let us know how they feel about us nonverbally by the affection they give us or the lack of affection that they refuse to give us. So that's another example of nonverbal communication as far as I'm concerned at a very primal level.
I agree, and thank you for sharing that, my friend. I think when people think of the Bard, one of his most iconic characters, Hamlet, always exhibits numerous instances of silence, unsaid emotions, nonverbal communication. John, as a storyteller, do you find the subtext to be appealing? A lot of people open up that script and they look at dialogue. Maybe they're captivated, they read it again because it's a great story. But isn't it also liberating as an actor and storyteller to be able to identify and discover subtext on your own?
Very liberating. And when you discover it on your own, you feel a proprietary ownership about it. You feel like it's organic, it comes out of you. So if you don't feel the need or the necessity to verbalize everything you do, that's good, because you're using one of the things that helped man begin to communicate initially. Long before we developed the spoken language, we had mental communication, and we had mental abilities to communicate with each other without verbalization. So at one point, we were more dependent upon the exchange mentally between us human beings than we were with the verbal exchange. So maybe we're getting back to that, and it would be a good thing if we did, because I feel it's imperative if we're really going to be able to communicate with each other.
There's no doubt about that, and you're right. I completely concur. You know, John, you've worked with so many incredible talents. Is there one, I know there's probably many, is there one instance that you can recall in which you were on stage, and of course the word is trust, trusting someone you're on stage with, knowing that they're very generous with their performance? Is there an instance where you can recall, on stage or otherwise, where you felt the nonverbal communication between you and your scene partner was very much on point?
There have been a number of cases like that. I can't specifically point at one and say that one more than others.
Sure.
There have been a number of cases where that has happened. And it's a wonderful feeling when you make that bond, when you make that communication. It's a great, great feeling, because you feel like you're tuning in to your partners on stage, and therefore the audience has no choice but to tune in with you. And when it happens, it's magic. And that's the magic I look for each time I go on stage. Much more so than in television or film, because it is a mental process, a cerebral process, and it happens, and it's wonderful.
I want to get your opinion on this, John. I teach my students and tell them that, in my opinion, there are no mistakes, there's only discoveries on stage. Would you concur?
Absolutely. There are no mistakes on stage, because it's all organic. And whatever happens is something we can use.
There's no doubt. Even you bring up television, I know we can't compare the stage with TV, but when I think of your incredible role as Gordy on, of course, when people want to talk about some great shows, when you portrayed Gordy the Weatherman on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, it was an actor's heaven to be playing such an affable character surrounded by a lot of incredible greats. Would you concur about that as well?
Well, the wonderful thing about that show was the writing. The writing allowed you the freedom to express the character without a lot of verbalization, and very often you became dependent upon the opportunity to react rather than to verbalize everything. Mm-hmm. And reaction is everything, as far as I'm concerned.
You're absolutely right. Guys, we're hearing from a man who's providing us with his own masterclass here, Mr. John Amos. John and I have a talk show that might be returning. It's called A Good Time with John Amos and Avi Klein. We've already recorded 2 episodes of that. Thank you again for your wealth of information. We have a lot of storytellers that listen and comment, John, so I appreciate you providing your input and experience.
Well, I thank you for the opportunity, because storytelling is what we as actors truly and really do. That is the essence of my acting, is that I'm a storyteller. And each time I get the opportunity to share with the audience and with my fellow actors the stories that I've heard and that I've been fortunate enough to be a part of over the course of my career, it's a blessing. It's a wonderful feeling. And that goes for Tone Locke's music and all those who have contributed to the arts. So thank you, Tone, and thank you, Miranda, and thank you, Avi. Thank you all for the opportunity.
Absolutely, my friend. We have one more topic to go for Mr. John Amos. We're going to now swing the same topic and question over to Tone and Miranda. But John, yes, thank you again, my friend. You taught me a lot about the before and after, which for all our storytellers who are listening, the before and after, a lot of storytellers focus on the before as it pertains to their character, but what about the after? It's just as important to remain committed after a scene. And John, again, and I had beautiful conversations about that very important quality to have as a storyteller. Mr. Tone Loc, I'm going to ask you the same question, my friend. You can go on as long as you'd like. Can you provide a detailed example of a time in your life where nonverbal communication benefited you greatly, good sir?
I would have to say, actually, yeah. I would have to say, by being a father, to tell you the truth, my daughter was thinking about getting a tattoo. You know how it is these days. I'm not really hyped on tattoo, even though I have a couple here and there, but I'm not. This generation these days, they get them all over the place. They have them here, there, down the arms, on the legs, on the face, and the neck. I've always said to my children, I don't care if you get tattoos, just make sure you get them. If you get them, don't get anywhere above here. And if you get a tattoo, get them up here somewhere on your body, not where really people can really see on your forearms or, places like that, because people tend to put you in a certain little generalization when they see you like that. They tend to put you in that little spot, that little marker. I may be not expressing that word exactly, but hopefully you can get it. Anyway, the bottom line is she was, sitting, we were all sitting at a table, and some people there, some girls there had little tattoos all over their arms and their little body, and they were expressing, oh, well, this one didn't hurt, and this one is cute, and I got this, and they were expressing like all types of little ways, and they were all cute women, and I think, she started, maybe so. Maybe I get a little heart here, a little butterfly there. And the communication became like, that's the nonverbal. You know what I'm saying? That when you start getting this little, okay, and it starts, you don't have to really say anything to embarrass her in front of everybody else, but I'm giving you that little eye-to-eye look. You know what I'm saying? So then the tattoo started moving all the way up. And then she finally thought, well, maybe I'll put one and get one up here. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Then you see the smile. No problem. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with that. But when you start down here and you want to put them on your knuckles and your neck and do all of that, that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? But you're a little bit older, so I can't really stop you. But my little verbal communication with that eye and the smile kind of controlled that situation right there, I must say.
Oh, that's a great point. That's where nonverbal is definitely parenting. Let me ask you a question, my friend. Nonverbal communication when you were a youngster and listening to the Ohio Players, Funkadelic, what does that do to a child who's listening to that? There's probably a nonverbal reaction initially when that music is speaking to you and resonating with you.
And yeah, mean, actually, you said you guys forgot to turn the air on in my dressing room back here. You know what I'm saying? It's a little warm. But I'm sorry. Can you say that question again? Something about the Ohio players?
Absolutely. Speaking of nonverbal reactions, upon hearing them for the first time,
right?
I'm not sure if you can recollect that, but there must have been a great nonverbal reaction because they definitely resonated with your spirit.
Well, definitely. I mean, it's like this here. Realistically, non-verbally, everybody can dig dance. And that's a non-verbal thing. And people all want to see people getting that groove on, whether they're old, whether they're young, skinny, fat, sexy or not. And when they do moves you haven't seen, or you see somebody doing something you didn't think they could do, that's exciting. And that's like, oh, that's a shocker. You know what I'm saying? Because when I bring certain people on stage and they do dances and they start dancing a little bit harder, or the big girl might dance a little harder and have moves better than the little sexy girl, the crowd reacts more to her. You know what I'm saying? More so than this little sexy thing. Or a lot older and they still got their little groove and they move it. Crowd's gonna react more to her as opposed to somebody young and sexy. So that's the nonverbal thing right there. And the crowd reaction. And I work off of the crowd reaction. That's a large part of my life.
I would love to ask you guys a question before I kick over to Miranda with the same question regarding nonverbal communication. To Tone and to John, to Miranda, do you think that anything can be accomplished without intention? Can anything be accomplished without intention?
I would say no. Because every time you're set out to accomplish something, there's an intention behind it. Otherwise,
there should be, right? But are there other moments where sometimes we try to accomplish something without intent?
In my opinion, no. I think there's always an intention when you set out to accomplish something, because otherwise, why would you try to accomplish it? There's got to be a reason to it, right? That's how I feel.
I agree with that. I agree with her 100%.
It's everything. Nothing happens on this planet without intention.
Yeah.
You're right. What about self-imposed discipline sometimes? A lot of times people talk about that for the sake of their moral convictions, meaning that a person or a character doesn't need to be policed. We can police ourselves. And sometimes today in 2024, we're being policed by societal norms that we've accepted through the airwaves, podcasts, different streaming services that want to think for us. Is it a dangerous time right now when it comes to the youth not thinking for themselves anymore? Do you guys notice that?
I don't think it's so much dangerous as it is filled with opportunity. We have the opportunity to police ourselves, and some people take advantage of it. Some people allow others to take advantage of them. So it's a matter of how much you want to employ your own discipline. You've got to have some type of discipline when you get up in the morning and when you go to bed at night. You control what you think about. You control what you do. And no one should surrender control of themselves to any other human being for all the time. At times you've got to acquiesce just to get along with the rest of society, and you've got to give others their due and allow them to control what they control, but not to control you. Participate with you and interact with you, yes, but not to control you. Otherwise, what becomes of you during those periods where others have control of you? Who knows what they're going to do with you or to you while they've got control of you. And that's what hypnotism is about, I think.
That's so very true.
Anyway.
No, that's so accurate, because now we're being hypnotized and lured by metrics and numbers, and automatically we associate someone's credibility with their popularity. And that's a shame, because as we know, you can differentiate between popularity and credibility if you choose to go down the rabbit hole and really get to know the message that you're receiving. That's so very important. I'm glad you brought that up. And also to people out there, quit trying to convince someone to understand you when most people are determined to misunderstand you anyway. There's no need. Man, oh man, guys and gals, thank you again for John Amos and Tone Loc and Miranda now, who will expand upon this very first topic / question. Miranda, can you provide a detailed example of a time in your life, my friend, where non-verbal communication benefited you greatly?
Yes. So Avi mentioned this in his, by the way, great examples from both of you guys. I didn't even think about the pets, John, or the parenting. I mean, all these things are amazing examples of nonverbals. I think of it in a mental health type of way, because as Avi mentioned in his introduction, I work in, my day job is in mental health. So I'm a therapist, and nonverbal communication is a huge aspect of my job. It shows somebody that, you know, you're listening. It shows somebody that you care about them. And a lot of people don't have somebody to listen to them. That's one of the reasons why I got into the field to begin with, is because I feel a lot of people are not great listeners. And you can tell sometimes when you're talking to someone, you know, they're on their phones or they're looking around, and they're saying they're listening, but do you actually feel like they're listening? Most of the time, no. I mean, even if they are actually listening, do I believe you're listening? No, because you're on your phone, you're in your own head. So keeping eye contact is important, nodding, facial expressions, all that type of stuff shows somebody that you're listening and that you care about them and that you want to hear what they have to say and you're present in the moment. So this helps me in my job every day. And I have a story to tell. It's a little existential, I think, but I think it's a good story to tell, because it shows how far nonverbals can go. I was on the train one time, and this was before I even started working in the field. And there was a kid who was on the platform, and he was crying and standing really next to the edge, and saying that he was going to jump. And his friends were holding him back, and they were saying, "Oh, you're just drunk." I guess he was drunk. And they're saying, "You're just drunk, like just go home, sleep it off." And he's trying to talk to them about his girlfriend. And this is a true story. And they didn't seem like they were listening. They were kind of laughing it off. Maybe they were intoxicated also. So we all got on the train, and I just see him crying in the corner by himself while his friends are laughing and having fun. And I stayed on the train like a couple stops past my stop just to make sure that this kid was okay. And these girls, they kind of walked by him and laughed. And I just felt really bad. I went up to him and I just started talking to him and telling him like, "Hey, you know, I'm sorry that nobody's paying attention to you." I don't know how serious his, words were. Maybe he was going to hurt himself. Maybe he wasn't. But I just wanted to make sure that he was all right. So I sat and talked with him for maybe 15 minutes or so. Mainly he talked. And I just sat there. I listened. I nodded my head. I was very in tune with him in the moment. And then he got off the train and I spun around and went home. And I guess this is kind of maybe a big statement to make, but maybe nonverbal communication saved his life that night, that someone was...
They very well have saved his life that night.
Yeah. So that's my story. It can go a long way to use your nonverbals to show somebody that you're there with them.
Thanks for helping the homie out. I'm sure he appreciated it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Wow. It's also maybe a sign of understanding, nonverbal communication.
Yeah.
Be able to take in someone's message before you convey your own verbally and be able to take it in. Not much listening going around today, right? In 2024. Not a lot of it.
No, we had short attention spans, you know? Everybody has short attention spans these days.
I don't know if you guys, so there's a character in Hamlet, again, going back to that play. He was the Lord Chamberlain of Denmark. He was the father of Ophelia, Polonius. And he's a character who expresses concealed emotions through different components, unspoken feelings, nonverbal communication, moments of quiet. And I couldn't grasp that when I was younger. I couldn't understand it. And then when I portrayed the role again years later, it came to me. I said, he has so much more to say without articulating himself verbally because he doesn't want to be understood. Some people don't want to be understood. That's another facet of human behavior, is that we pick and choose when we want to be heard and when we don't, when we want to be left alone. And there are so many moments of nonverbal communication that maybe we send to other people. And maybe they pick up on, or maybe they don't. But there are times where the best communication sometimes is the type of communication that isn't necessary. We have to collect our thoughts. I mean, again, not to just blame it on the airwaves, Tone, but like how many times do we see people or talking heads want to get their point out without listening? They can't process anything that's being said because they're just waiting to speak.
That's it. They're actually waiting to talk rather than listening to who's talking and what they're saying. They're just killing time until it's their turn to speak.
Right.
That is not true communication.
Absolutely, sir.
And on another tip, on a parental tip, not the business tip, but the eyes work very well in communication. I must say, whether you talk, especially if you're a parent, they work very well. I mean, you can look at your kids with the squinty eyed, or you can like look at them like, what the hell are you doing? I mean, there's a lot of communication going on, and you don't have to say a word on that tip.
Amen.
So I'm just, there's a lot of ways you can even do it physically, but I'm just saying the eyes work very well.
So much, yeah.
Without true. It's a very important date that I want to bring up here, guys, because today's a date in history which has gone largely unnoticed. 2 years ago, I did this as well. It's a poem that inspires and foreshadows and educates, because on this date in 1926, Langston Hughes, his first book of poetry was published, Weary Blues. And what a poem it was. I've known rivers ancient as the world and older than the flow of human blood and human veins. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. I built my hut near the Congo and it lulled me to sleep. I looked upon the Nile and raised the pyramids above it. I heard the singing of the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down to New Orleans. I've known rivers, ancient, dusky rivers, and my soul has grown deep like the rivers. From the beautiful Langston Hughes. What an incredible poet, John.
Wow.
Yes, he was.
It's absolutely inspirational. One question before we move on to topic number 2. More a statement. I want to get your guys' opinion on this, if you would be so kind. Life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. Would you agree?
I would agree with that.
You have such thoughtful questions, Avi.
Well, I want to get to know you guys so much because you have beautiful souls.
Yeah.
I think being able to get to know you through these questions is so important to me. But what are your thoughts on that, Miranda?
What did you say? I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
Sure. No, not a problem, my friend. You're definitely not interrupting.
The question was, life is happening to you and not for you.
Right. Do you agree with that? Life happens to you, not for you?
I just want to understand. Let Miranda answer that.
Sure.
Was it the opposite that you said, Avi? That you said life is I'm confused. life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. Is that what you said?
Would you agree that life is happening to you and not for you?
Oh, okay. To you. Well, it is happening to you, but I also agreed with I agreed more maybe with the for you. In a sense that I believe everything happens for a reason. So maybe things are happening because you're meant to do something and not, you know what I mean? Like go somewhere or not do this or do this. And it's for your greater good.
How do you think we can differentiate that? Something happening to you rather than for you?
I think it's what you take away from the experience. Do you learn from it or do you feel punished by it? What is your reaction to whatever it is you went through? Because you went through something that is an experience for you now. Right. And was it a positive experience? Did you participate in it? Or did you couldn't wait to get away from that situation because it was unpleasant for you? So then it's happening to you as opposed to for you. So I think it's a matter of interpretation. If you see every experience you have in life can be one or the other, to you or for you. So it's a matter of positivism or negativism. If you see it.
Yeah, I would have to agree with both of them. I think you feel more or less, on the negative side, it might be happening to you. If you get sick or something like that, I don't know, if you like, damn, something's hurting over here and all of this. As you start to get older, you never felt things that you felt as a youngster. So it's happening to you. I think for you would kind of like be on an ego tip, you know what I'm saying? Would put you kind of up there, unless you learn from the things like John said. But to you, I think we all kind of go through the process of life, and things go and come to you as you get older, whether they be good or bad. But you go through the process of life, and a lot of things come your way as you get older.
Amen.
Great chance.
I know a lot of our viewers, a lot of our fans who watch, and again, we have a ton of them, are appreciating your thoughts, guys, and it's very generous for you guys to share your thoughts. A quick moment of levity, an observation. I want to see what you guys think about this observation. I don't play golf. I respect it. I don't play it. But I realized the other day that the object of golf is to play the least amount of golf. Truth?
I don't know much about golf, but
actually, right on the field, you're right. If you get a lot of birdies, then you don't have to keep swinging and swinging.
Right. If you can get a hole in one on every hole,
exactly.
Minimize the amount of playing that you do.
True.
Spend one time at the clubhouse having a nice cold beer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's very true. I also realized that if you spell the word bed in lowercase, the word bed actually looks like a bed. Think about that.
I'm not sure I understood. Say again, please.
I'll be on that one too.
If you spell the word bed, B-E-D, lowercase, it actually looks like a bed. B-E-D.
I hadn't given it much thought. If you get all.
Hey, John, the exciting life of a writer. I have to write observations all the time.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about writing. You can create your own world, and all you need is a pen and paper or a pencil and paper.
Amen. Amen to that. And guys, I want everyone to know this as well. Mr. John Amos is a wonderful writer, and it's been amazing collaborating with you, good sir. I love your passion project, and I love your passion, period, as a human being.
Thank you, sir.
One quick other moment of levity here, John, and for Tone and for Miranda. Did you ever try to pick up a suitcase you thought was full, but it wasn't? And for a split second, you just thought that you were really strong because it was empty?
Oh, man. Yes.
Happened to me the other day. I was trying to pick up this suitcase that looked loaded. And there I am. I'm rolling up the sleeves, wiping the sweat off the brow, and whoosh. I go, man, I've been working out pretty well. Those bi rolls are working really well. These bi curls reverse. Man. But then I realized the bag was empty, and I'm not so strong after all. But that's okay. Some fun observations here, guys. We're going to move over to topic number 2. Again.
Oh, my goodness. That is how you begin an 11th hour match.
Oh, hell yeah.
John freaking Amos is back. John freaking Amos is back.
John Amos is back in this tournament.
Oh, he's on the green room again. I could not be more thrilled. Howard?
I am ecstatic. I mean, I remember the first moment he was on the screen, and then to see him back tonight, that has been full circle. It's awesome, and he is sharp, and it's just awesome to watch.
Oh, okay. We have tons of information to get to you. Start getting your votes and head on over to our YouTube channel. That is www.youtube.com/@thenewNetwork. Type your votes in there. Keep commenting on Facebook, but type your votes in over on YouTube. And if we don't see if you don't see your votes pop up on screen, we are counting them. We will announce those at the end. We are tallying everything in the back here. But what a way to begin our 11th hour matches. The last match before round 2 begins.
And I just have to say, Giselle, as of tonight, 121 luminaries in this tournament. 1, 2, 1.
121 Hall of Famers from the world of sports and pro wrestling, plus Oscar, Grammy, Tony, Emmy, AMA, WGA, Golden Globes, award winners and nominees, and Olympians.
Damn.
We have John Amos and Tone Lock in here. We are now at 121.
That's enough.
Woo! And wow, and we're at 128 plus total in round 2. Plus we have the 3 of us in round 3. This tournament is
it's a wave of talent coming at you, and a very very powerful big hand also coming at you. Oh, the hand model returns. Allison, the hand model returns for you. Let me do this. Well, just slip in there. Slip in there. Oh man.
I know this is difficult. I know it's hard because what a way to begin a match, and what a topic.
Oh my God.
Oh gosh. Start getting your votes over on our YouTube channel right now. And again, if you don't see them pop up on screen, if you don't think we're counting them, we are. They're in the back. We have them all for you coming up. But if you can, go on over to our YouTube channel and get your votes in there, and then go back to Facebook and keep commenting on Avi's page and Avi's broadcast. That is going to be the most helpful for us to continue all of this. And I have the very difficult task of voting, and our judges' votes are worth 3 points tonight, and your votes are worth 1 on this topic, where all 3 did a fantastic job, and I can definitely relate to something that each one of them said. John Amos, I started in the arts as a dancer. You want to talk about nonverbal storytelling? All you have to do is go watch a ballet, a hip hop performance, ballroom, any type of dance. They're all communicating nonverbally because that's what you have. You have your bodies and the music. And now I'm a storyteller who focuses on telling stories, again, using bodies and physicality and physical violence. And when we get to that point where we can't speak, that all we can do is erupt into those primal tendencies. Gosh, how can I not relate to what John said? And then Tone Lock, oh my goodness, parenting. He made those expressions, and I brought me right back to my own childhood. I'm pretty sure I've had those conversations. I've been in those conversations with my own parents. I've had them with my siblings. I understand exactly what he's speaking about. And Miranda, coming at it from a mental health perspective and really listening and being present, made lots of great points about people not really listening, even though they think they are, or think they can do 2 things at once and hear the words, or think they'll listen better if they're glued to their phone, keeping their hands busy because now they're not worried about what their hands are doing, when in reality they're not. This is tough. I know it's tough for you, but get those votes over on YouTube. Is a second topic after this, so please stay tuned for that second topic, and there's much more show after that as well. But we have another topic, so we will be seeing John and Tone and Miranda again. But my vote for this first topic on nonverbal communication is going to Miranda.
So, I mean, first of all, what a panel. Again, John Amos, Tone Loc, I mean, Wild Thing, I mean, you name it. Grammy Award winner, John Amos, I mean, a powerhouse of a storyteller. And then the return of Miranda as well. So much love to Miranda. John, I love how he kind of dived into, he was very specific. He talked about what happens on stage when you go up on the line, right? And that moment where you have to be there with your stage partner. How do you communicate, right? Those nonverbals become super important to do that, right? I love the fact that he brought up animals, right? I mean, I'm sure you guys listening, you have pets, you have dogs and cats, and they're also communicating with you. And that's also a form of communication. And sometimes when those animals are not, don't like you and have specific, yes, and plants as well, right? We have plants that also they have energy, they have souls, and there you go, and they also communicate as well with us. Right now, I think that plant's enjoying the show, is enjoying John Amos and everyone, Tone Loc and Miranda. Tone Loc, he talked about that moment with his daughter and that look that's like, that's what you ain't getting it there. And then when she said, well, maybe we'll get it here, and he's like, and there was a smile. So that becomes very important. And Miranda, I mean, that story she shared with the kid that was about to jump, and how she had a nonverbal exchange with him when he came into the train, probably saved his life. But ultimately, I'm going to vote for John. John talked about very in the beginning of Mad, we were communicating non-verbally and hoping we'd get back to that. So again, guys, put in your votes. There's one more topic coming after this. It's going to be as hard-hitting as this first one. Okay, so keep on staying tuned. There's going to be also so much more after this competition as well. So guys, let's see what else we got. So vote goes to John Amos.
And now we are going to kick it over to our third judge. Let us welcome in tonight to the green room, one Mr. Kelly White.
What a freaking panel. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, three people. I had no clue. I did not expect to see Miranda. Been a long time. So great to see her back here on the green room. She was here when I showed up. We did a little battle back in the day, if you recall. If not, you can probably find that maybe somewhere on our YouTube page. If not, it'll turn up eventually. Tone Loc, wow, OG from way back, Funky Cold Medina. You know, I remember being out and about back in the day, and that was so freaking popular. And Wild Thing, I mean, you can't get away from that stuff. Dude is a true rap legend. Just crazy. And John Amos, I mean, wow. That goes way back. I mean, really thinking back to, you know, TV, when I was a kid, his character on Good Times, you know, that was a father figure. That's something we watched, and mad respect for the character as a kid. And mad respect for the man that breathed life into that and brought it to the screen. So, yeah, insane panel. And as Howard and Giselle pointed out, you know, we've been talking about the 119. You know, it's almost an iconic phrase around here until today. And now tick and tick 121. I like to round up. I've been saying almost 120. Now I can say over 120 when I'm telling people about the awesome celebrity roster that is participated in this grand tournament that we've got going on here. Vote. It's important, man. Vote. I know we got folks watching on Facebook. Pop over to YouTube. I dropped the link in there when Howard and Giselle were talking. They're counting the votes on YouTube. Pop over there, drop your vote, and then pop back or hang out there. You know, enjoy the show. But voting is happening on YouTube, so vote, as I always say. Vote. No, I'm not stalling. I know somebody, hey, how come Kelly ain't just putting it down, telling us like it is? He's stalling. I'm not stalling. Maybe I'm stalling. No, it's tough. Did want to let you guys know something else I wanted to throw out there on the upcoming Fab Friday block of shows that you've probably been looking for a while. We've got quite the lineup. You got Pete's perspective. You got my little contribution to professional wrestling in details. We've got the Red Eye with JW and the debut, I believe, of Bloomosphere. So keep an eye out for that. That is coming up next Friday, live and in person. So let's talk about the topics, or the topic of discussion here: nonverbal communication. Time in your life that was notable. Miranda, I think, brought that to the fore very well. A great story, possibly saving this young drunk kid's life, because you don't make great choices when you're drunk, and if your emotions are super high. And yeah, a lot of times, that approach before you ever say a word can be so important to breaking the proverbial ice with another human being. And I think that's what she was getting at, that, using a nonverbal skill set, she was able to do that and then have a discussion to, get him literally off the edge. So, first of all, kudos to her for stepping up, and one hell of a story. I'm kind of working my way backwards a little bit here. Tone Loc, he hit it right on the head, man. Sometimes with kids, sometimes words fail you for the stuff that they do. You're like, and you got to give them a look. And it works. It does work. It is a huge part of parenting. I'm sure, and it's not just for humans, I'm sure in the animal kingdom, we don't read their expressions amongst them as well. But I'm sure there's a lot of that going on there. So, I think Tone Loc, really nailed it with, a personal perspective on the topic, bringing that up, and every parent out there went, yeah, that's the darn honest truth right there. First one to go, Mr. John Amos. Man, it is so good to see him out and about and doing well. Love listening to him. He is a storyteller. And he didn't like zone in on the topic this one time. I think Avi said it though. He laid out a master class. With what he brought up. And Avi knows him extremely well. He is a green room original. He was from back at the very flippin' beginning. He's been here, way longer than me. Pretty much, Avi's, worked with him for 4 years at least. So, he is an OG. But the thing is, he did, and like I said, Avi knows him so well. He called it out. He called it a master class because he touched on early humanity. What really got me was pets, the interaction, how we can read them. And if you have pets, they can read you too. When a pet makes you angry, you take a certain posture with them. They're like, oh, dude, I'm sorry. They know they did wrong. But if you think about the animal kingdom, you look at it all over. That's how they communicate with each other. The snake isn't all coiled up to, shake your hand. So I think he just laid it out in a broad stroke. And I'm looking at the whole conversation because I know him and Avi had a little discussion afterward, but Avi had a discussion with everybody, asked some other questions. So I'm looking at the whole conversation with everybody. And I think John Amos just covered it end to end in grand fashion. So for that reason, I'm giving Mr. John Amos my vote on this topic tonight. But wait, there's more. Topic 2. This is a 2-topic contest. Is coming up next. Please stay tuned. Vote if you haven't.
John Amos for his presence, and Tone and Miranda, their presence is a present. We appreciate that. We delve to topic. You. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. We'll rotate it around this time, guys. So we'll start with Mr. Tone Loc for topic number 2 first. then Miranda will go second, and then Mr. John Amos will go third. Tone, my question for you for the second topic is, what 2 questions do you wish you knew the answers to, and why, good sir?
Well, I'm gonna start with something real serious. Since I have seizures, a lot of people don't know that I do have that, and a lot of people don't care, give a damn either way. But I wish I knew that they would have if they were going to have a real cure for it. I know they attempt to have it on, say, if you follow this diet or if you do this and that. I don't have seizures like on a regular basis. In fact, I haven't had one in almost 2 years. But I don't like to see people afraid of living their lives. I mean, I'm in front of thousands and thousands of people on a daily basis, and some people are afraid to leave their house because, you know, they never know if that's going to break down. So I would like to know if there's ever going to be a cure without having to have your head operated on or do whatever, you know, for the future, you know. And also, I would like to know, you don't have to put this down, but is everybody going to someday get the hell along, you know, in this damn planet, you know, and just, I can't say erase all of the, you know, what's the past, but is there ever going to be a time when this planet gets together, or somebody's going to have to come down and land on this sucker and make everybody like wake up and be like, oh yeah, you're right, we all are the same. We're not Martians, you know what I'm saying? Is it going to take something like that? So realistically, there's short answers, but the seizure thing, I want to know, will there ever be a real cure for that? And I want to know when the world, if the world would ever be, you know, connected at any point, or is that just drama? They'll never be.
First off, thank you for that second one. It was beautiful. It really is. It's so much easier for people to destroy things, and I wish they would not destroy. I wish they would work on building. That's another funny one. Why is building called building? It's already been built. A building's been built already. But it is so much more important to build. But the question I have for you, Tone, is, does that happen so unexpectedly? The seizures you bring up, does that sometimes get in the way of maybe not a performance, but the moment before a performance? Is there this trepidation?
With me personally, no, because I don't, you know, I've never wanted to let that type of thing take over. I'm not like, you know, John Miranda. I've been on sets of TV, in movies, been fortunate enough to do them. So I have always been pretty good at blocking that out of my mind. You know, I've never thought about, oh, I'm going to drop out or something can happen, you know, to me. As far as I'm concerned, realistically, I don't have them. But when I have to take my medicine every night, I know that they do exist. But I'm not afraid to live my normal life like, you know, John Miranda.
Wow. That says a lot about you, man, to be that courageous, to be able to do something like that. Like, it's, you know,
and I just want to say one thing. I just want to say, I have been sick on stage in front of thousands of people. And my DJ has helped me out, and it hasn't happened, you know, out of thousands of shows. It may have happened like once or twice. So, you know, that's pretty good. That's not that bad. You know, it's a pretty good little ratio in there. But the main thing is that I'm not afraid, and I really honestly don't think they will. Like, as far as I'm concerned, sitting right here, I don't think I'll ever have another one again. And I have to think that way.
Amen to that. Amen. God willing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I hope you never experience that again, my friend. Absolutely.
Me too.
Yeah. And again, very thoughtful regarding that second one. If there's something out there that could unite us somehow, some sort of I always feel like there's chaos in every order, and there's order in every chaos. And I hope we experience a lot of order pretty soon. That could provide us the type of love that we could have for each other if we just stop and listen.
It can provide, man, because realistically,
we're
all in great, you know, things where we can actually see the reactions of people.
Yeah.
that are right there. And that's a great living, as opposed to being like a plumber or a painter, which is a good job. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying, being on stage and being an actor or actress, you get to see really great reactions of what you do. And there's nothing like a smile coming from another person to you personally off of what you did and making them happy. That is the best feeling in the world.
Totally agree with you. Why can't we just choose to do the right thing in any moral situation we're in? Why could that be so hard? I agree with you. And I think, again, maybe it's because the monetization or the nature of how platforms are being set up, where people, without paying their dues, they say this on stage, you want to play, you got to prep first. You can't play without prepping. Man, oh man. And a lot of people right now, maybe greed is not a financial issue. Maybe greed is a heart issue. Maybe there's a sufficiency in the world for man's need, but not for man's greed. So, yeah, I wish what you just said, I want that gleam to be fanned into a roaring flame for people to hear that, because that's so very important, Tone. You're absolutely right about that, my friend. Guys, I will ask the same question to Mr. John Amos third, but then Miranda's going to now go up next with the same question. Miranda, what 2 questions do you wish you knew the answers to, and why, my friend?
Well, thank you for sharing, Tone. I appreciate what you said, and how brave you are to live life fearlessly. I, on the other hand, have always had this strange fear with death. Again, I'm being existential. And I one of the questions that I've always had in my head when I've had this, the fear has come up whenever I've gotten sick or something. I had the question, what happens when we die? Where do we go? I'm sure a lot of people have that question, and it won't ever be answered on this earth for anyone. Unless there are people who have had near-death experiences that have said that they've seen a glimpse of the other side, my mom being one of them. She says that she saw the light and all this other stuff. But that's something that, I don't think we'll ever truly know. And it kind of freaks me out sometimes to think about it. Like, will it hurt? What do I see? What will I do? Like, is there anything out there? I mean, I believe in God, but that's a really, really thought-provoking question for me. And then another one, again, I'm sure a lot of people might ask themselves this is, what is my purpose for being here? Right. So I know I love what I do, storytelling and working in the mental health field as well. But I don't know if you can ever maybe be sure of your purpose 100%. I mean, when I see people's reactions, like how you guys said, when you see people smiling, when you see people, engaged with you in any type of scenario, then that really, I guess, is a little glimmer of knowing that that's your purpose. And that's what you're meant to be doing. It's a good reassurance that you're touching somebody, whether through talking to them or storytelling or anything that you do. But I don't know can we really ever know 100% what the plan was supposed to be and if we're following it? That's a good question that I always ask myself too, is if I'm truly following my purpose, and I hope I am. So,
sure. You're helping a lot of people, Miranda. I have to ask you this as someone who's in the mental health field. Maybe it's a general question, so I don't want to generalize, but in your field, do you find that people sometimes do or don't even have a baseline of human decency? Because I feel like we're losing focus on the things that matter that are so minute, which is simple decency, right? Do you find that to be the case?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like Tone said before, will there ever be peace and harmony among everybody? And will we ever, be okay with each other fully? I hope so. Because I also work with a lot of people in the legal aspect as well. People who have done, horrible things, have been incarcerated. A lot of them are good people. They were just in bad situations. I'm nobody to judge. But some people really are narcissists. They don't care what they do to other people. They don't have any accountability for their actions. And I don't know what goes on in certain people's mind states when they're like that. I think that people are, I don't know, it's the nature versus nurture type of thing. Are they born that way, or has somebody in their life taught them this way, or something happened to them that makes them so disconnected?
I think I say this to you and to Tone and to John. They say, blessed are those who see beautiful things in humble places where other people see nothing.
Mm.
You all do. I mean, it comes across on screen. So I'm proud of you for doing what you do and to really make sure you place a huge priority on helping people when they are having it rough every day, before COVID, during COVID, after COVID. It's happening so often. So again, really, you should be proud of yourself for doing that.
Thank you.
Question for Miranda, Tone, and John. Would you agree with the following? And if so, why? And if not, why? Impossible is a word to be found only in the Dictionary of Fools.
So, nor would I.
Yeah, that's a good question too, Avi. I think I wouldn't say fools. I feel like everyone has doubts sometimes on if something is possible or not. We all doubt ourselves at some point, but I think anything's possible. So maybe we should doubt ourselves a little less.
If you can conceive it, it can be achieved.
Yeah.
So nothing is impossible because you can conceive of anything happening, anything, literally.
Right.
But on the tip, on a whole nother note, I'm gonna put it like this: if somebody were to say, "I'm gonna jump out this 80-story window and not get hurt," is that possible or impossible? Or I'm gonna jump up there, I'm gonna jump here, I'm gonna dump 15, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have 15, or I'm gonna bust 3, you know what I'm saying, 15 3-pointers within 5 minutes. Come on now, let's be for real. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep things in a certain little place. Mentally, you can do certain things that are possible to you. But is everything possible realistically to you or that person? Not everything. Come on now. Not every single thing. Even if you put your mind to it.
That's true. You will get hurt.
It's funny, though, that in that moment, when some might surmise and assume, hey, I can't do this. In that moment, there's an absolute commitment to that happening. In that moment, a person believes they could do said task. It's fascinating when you think of the human mind.
Yeah.
So if you go out 2 miles into the Pacific Ocean and still see that land, be like, you know what, that land doesn't look that far. But you jump in that water and try to swim to it, it's going to look a lot longer. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a little bit stronger. So you're going to start running out of breath after about 50 yards. You know what I'm saying?
And if it looks closer, you might be in trouble. You might be in trouble. That may not be a good thing.
You're not a hell of a swimmer, or you're not in shape, you're not going to most likely make it. And especially if the tide is coming against you.
It's very, very true. Last one I want to ask you guys before I kick it over to Mr. John Amos. Would you agree with the following? Knowledge is proud that it knows so much. Wisdom is humble that it knows no more. Knowledge is proud that it knows so much. Wisdom is humble that it knows no more.
That is so profound. That requires a great deal of thought, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's not something you just give a snap answer to. That's something you want to stir that one around in the cerebellum a little bit.
Right. Gotta sleep on it.
Absolutely.
That's a provoking question.
Thank you.
So I'd like to think about it a little bit before I respond, if it's okay with you.
Absolutely, sir. There's no problem.
Good deal.
Absolutely, my friend.
That's a tough question right there. That's not something you just want to jump into.
You're totally right.
Maybe Miranda might know.
No, that one kind of stumped me too. Wisdom, knowledge. Wow.
When I was putting pen to paper,
humble is cool. You're humble in knowing what you know.
Sure.
Right.
What was the first part of that?
Well, when I put pen to paper last night, I wrapped my mind around this question: is knowledge is so proud that it knows so much. but wisdom is humble that it knows no more.
What was it? What about it? It's a good question, and it seems to make sense. Actually, I'm cool with that. Although I wish I weren't so humble that I would just be stuck and happy at just knowing that.
Sure.
I would love to always learn as much as possible.
Right. And we benefit maybe from knowing rather than, or I should say, I'm sorry, I stand corrected. Maybe we benefit more from learning than knowing. Because those who know sometimes think they need know no more. And that isn't exactly accurate.
It's a new day and age, so you have to learn what's up these days instead of maybe what was up 30 years ago or something.
But my favorite statement to make, I swear, for those that know me well, Tone, my favorite statement to make are these 3 words. I don't know. I love saying I don't know. It's great to say I don't know.
What can you do?
I wish we could turn on any news outlet and hear some of those talking heads say, I don't know. And then you hear the jingle and the broadcast is over.
Because they usually don't know.
we push fraudulent information. I think I mentioned this to John years ago when I used to teach U.S. history. I wasn't allowed to talk about the real history, the Buffalo Soldiers, for instance. I wasn't allowed to talk about Diane Nash, who's a freedom rider who's still alive, by the way, one of the original freedom riders, because that wasn't in the syllabus. So when you challenge that and you speak to the administration about why it's important to talk about the real history in this country, and you get pushback, you lose some great teachers that really essentially took the job, not because they were getting paid. We know they didn't. Nobody showed them the do-re-mi. Nobody gave them the do-re-mi, I can tell you that. But what they wanted to do was to be able to educate the youth on more than just what's considered textbook. So it's a sad state of affairs. It really is.
Wow.
You know, teachers should teach. Teachers should teach. And we're seeing some great teachers who are, I know personally, who are young and motivated. And then all of a sudden they're being whisked away from that field because A, they're not getting paid, and B, they're not allowed to teach, in this case, the real history.
Those that say don't know, and those that know don't say.
Yes. Yes. That's incredibly profound, my friend. And that's so very true and very accurate and very apropos.
Yeah.
Guys and gals and pals who are watching the show now on this Saturday evening, I'm going to pitch this last question to Mr. John Amos. I do have tribute videos to John and Tone right after this segment. John, what 2 questions do you wish you knew the answers to and why, good sir, whenever you are ready? And again, the question, Mr. John Amos, is what 2 questions, John, do you wish you knew the answers to and why? And
like Miranda, and like most human beings, I would like to know what happens after we make the transition between life and the afterlife. What happens once we stop living and functioning as human beings? What challenges are we faced with? What opportunities will we have, if any, once we make the transition? Because I don't believe that this is all there is. I know there's something else, but I'd like to believe there's something else besides this plane of existence. But what, I don't know. But I know it'll be filled with challenges, but it'll answer a lot of questions that I have and I've had all my life. So I'm looking forward to the transition to some degree, and it'll be interesting to see what happens and what the future holds once the transition is made.
That's beautiful. Is peace something, John, is peace and tranquility something you place heavy emphasis on?
I think peace is with the individual. Whatever the individual regards as peace and tranquility, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because it's all on a personal basis. And some of the things that others, some might find agitating and calamitous, might be a very peaceful existence for others. So who's to say? Who's to say?
Yeah, it's objective.
There's no doubt. Guys, again, thank you for your generosity. John, again, everything about you, my friend, is something I really appreciate. And guys, one of these days, again, looking at your past, even going back to Stockton School and Columbian School and graduating from East Orange High, Golden Gloves champion. Man, oh man, you have done it all. Football, there's no doubt about that. I won't even bring up Johnny Bullocks, the guy from Utah, the Mormon. But there's so many things that you've taught me in this journey as a friend. And guys and gals and pals, I hope you guys have been able to absorb a lot of this amazing, soulful information from John, from Tone, and from Miranda. Before we find out, guys, again, who you vote on, who resonated most with you and why, before we find out, I do want to play. Yeah, absolutely, my friend.
Amen.
And I want to play a video for John, a tribute video for John, and a tribute video for Tone as well. Miranda, before I put you backstage, my friend, anything you'd like to tell Tone and John? The floor is yours.
Just thank you so much for opening up your hearts and giving us a piece of your minds. You're both very accomplished and very wise. The wisdom is definitely here, wise men. So I had a great time hearing what you both had to say on these topics and having some laughs too. It was very fun.
Miranda, I appreciate that. Thank you, love. I appreciate it. I really do.
Of course. All pleasure's all mine.
Absolutely, Miranda. Thank you so much, my friend. I'm going to put you backstage momentarily. And Mr. Tone Loc, I'm going to play John a video first, and then you, my friend, as well, a video after John's. Anything you'd like to tell Mr. Amos, my friend?
I mean, other than, he's a terrific actor. I mean, I did not want to just say good time. I know he has been in many roles, I just have major respect, for the man. He's always been, from Let's Do It, whatever. I can't even remember all the movies that the man participated in, but I just have major respect, as of what he's done. And he's always played that strong role. And, I was born in 1966, and everybody around me, from the west side to the east side, all respect my brother right here. And that's straight coming from the hood all the way to the lawyers and the doctors. You know what I mean? We love you, brother.
Thank you.
That's beautiful, man. Tone, you got a really beautiful heart, man. From my heart, you really do.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I'm going to put you backstage for one moment, my friend, and then I'm going to play you a video as well, Mr. Tone Loc.
I'm out. Peace. Thank you.
I'm going to put you backstage one moment. Thank you. Don't sign out just yet. I got a great video. Hope you enjoy it. Mr. John Amos, I want to play a video for you, my friend. I hope you enjoy this. If you want to take a look, John, this is sort of a trip down memory lane. I hope you enjoy this video, my friend. From me to you.
All righty.
Thank you for being you, my friend. I appreciate you and respect you wholeheartedly.
And that goes double for me to you, Avi.
Thank you, my friend. I hope you have an absolutely magnificent evening.
And you as well, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John Amos, guys and gals. Thank you, John. Mr. Tone Loke, how are you, my friend?
Hey, what's happening, man?
Much like John, you've touched a lot of people, and I hope that this trip down memory lane serves you well, my friend.
Can I grab me a soda right quick?
Yeah. Yeah, of course you can have a soda. Let me bring in Miranda real quick.
My shorts on, man.
Absolutely, yeah. Miranda, yeah, we love John.
That was a really nice video.
Tremendous human being.
That was so nice.
You know, when I first broke bread with John in Manhattan a couple of summers ago, it was beautiful to see people pay respect to him non-verbally.
Mm.
There were these looks that people had on their faces, not because they were in disbelief that John was near them, but he has a presence about him that is gentle and kind. You know, you ever have that sometimes? Do you ever run into people you just know that they're affectionate, warm, just by being able to be around them?
Yeah. He's a sweetheart. I can tell already, like just from the screen. I'm sure it's even more so in person, you know, because this is kind of like a blocker sometimes. Yeah. I mean, it's great to see your faces though, but in person, I'm sure it really beams off of it. You can tell when somebody's a good person or a bad person most of the time. You get like it's just a feeling in the room.
There's no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
You're a great human being. I want to put you in the back momentarily. That's Miranda, guys. And I'm going to bring in Mr. Tone Loke. Tone, I got to ask you a question. Did you have a nice time tonight, my friend?
I did, man. Everything was cool, man. Didn't cost anything. Everything was free. So, hey.
There you go.
Cost me a soda, so I'm all right.
Well, here's a tribute video from me to you, my friend. I hope you enjoy the following. Man, again, want to tell you, man, it's been a pleasure getting to know you tonight here.
Man, that was cool, man. That was pretty nice. I was like, oh my goodness, where did you get that picture from? That was cool. You dug deep. That was pretty nice, man. Thank you very much.
You strike me as the guy
I
that
saw my mom on there on a couple of pictures. I'm like, oh, that was cool.
I got teary-eyed too, and I think you strike me as a guy that never makes it about his accomplishments. You strike me as a guy that's been down to earth from day one to now, and that's kind of what speaks to me. So, yeah.
That's cool, man. Thank you very much, man. I mean,
Do I need some work with my rhymes in the studio? I need some work a little bit or no?
No, man, everything was tight, man. You all right, man. I gotta give it to you, man. You on deck, man. So I'll be at your next show, man.
Well, hopefully you're going to be the next show as well in round number 2 of the celebrity tournament. Tone, thank you for your time. I value it and I appreciate you.
Hey, thank you very much, man. Keep rocking it. You know what I'm saying? Keep going. Y'all go do the wild thing. You know what I'm saying? Later on.
Always. Thank you, my friend.
Peace out.
Tone Loc. Absolutely. Man, oh man. Guys and gals, you now have the unenviable task, not me, no, of voting for one of these 3 incredible human beings. Miranda, Tone Loc, John Amos. Topic number 2. You already voted for topic 1. We're going to find out who the judges vote for topic number 2. We're going to find out who you're voting for in topic number 2. Hit the comment section right now and let us know who you think won that topic and why.
Wow. Another good one. Another really good one. So, yeah, as Avi just mentioned, hey, get out there, vote. We want to make sure everybody gets has their voice heard. That was a topic that really, really hit me. So I'm going to make a couple points on it. Avi's question, knowledge being proud of what it knows, and wisdom. Forget exactly how he said it. Was very well put. Being happy that it only humbled and it only knows what it actually knows. Because it comes back to a D&D question. You might know I play a little bit. And a lot of new people, when they sit down to play D&D, and they look at the different stats you have to deal with. One is knowledge, one is intelligence, and one is wisdom. And a lot of them will ask, hey, what's the difference? The best explanation I've ever come up with for myself is intelligence is knowing, but wisdom is knowing better. Seems to work. The other one I flummox kids and people with is, be in a discussion. I'll say, well, a wise man once said. They're like, what did he say? I say, he didn't say anything because he was listening. But that's my take on that. Let's get down to the voting, I guess. Wow. So I'm going to work my way backwards. Mr. John Amos went last in this, and he went with the big question: what's next? After we shuffle off this mortal coil, wouldn't it be nice to know, have the expectation outside of our various faiths and beliefs to actually have something solid? That's one everybody would like to know. And he also pointed out that, peace is an individual perspective. One man's hell might be another man's peace, vice versa. Who knows? But it is perspective on that. Miranda, she also hit on the big one. What is next after we stamped the time clock that last time? But her other one was, I think really in depth, what is, as she said, my purpose? Am I fulfilling my purpose? And that's a tough one. And yeah, I think a lot of people would like to know that answer. I don't think it's everyone, though. I think a lot of people just kind of bounce through life kind of like a ball in a pinball game, and they're just reactionary. They take what it comes. I've spent time in my life doing that. Just, taking whatever came my way and just rolling with it. Maybe I didn't really have a purpose, but it's an excellent, excellent question. It really, really is. And then, Tone started the whole thing off really with dropping something that, he certainly didn't need to. Now, could somebody go on Google and look him up and find out that he's had seizures from time to time? I figure if you Google the right thing and dig deep enough, you can. But who does that? Who does that? So he opened up and said, hey, I would like to know if this is going to be cured, so I never have to actually have that nagging worry that it's going to happen again, because it's a frightening thing. I've never experienced it. But I know people who have, and it's a horrible thing to have to watch them go through. And I can, they've expressed it's a horrible thing to go through. So that's a very, very valid question. And then he hit the big one, man. He hit the big one. Why can't we all just get along? You know, what's the secret? You know, why can't we just, you know, put all the animosity and hatred and stupidity aside and just get along with each other? So, wow, this one to me was much tougher than the first topic, but I really want to vote for Miranda. She's one of us. She's a green roomer, and I'm that close, but I gotta go with my heart and my gut. And Avi hit it on a little bit. Tone is just a down to earth dude. You can tell that. You could, if you sat down to him next in a bar, didn't know who he was, you just have a conversation and it'd be a great thing. You know, he would never bring up anything like that. So my vote on this one is going to go to Tone Loc. Howard, Giselle, very interested in hearing how you approach this one. Vote, everybody. Vote.
My God. What an amazing topic. Kelly, Mr. Kelly White, you stick around, buddy, because we got some more in store together. All right. But again, what an amazing array of, just assessments from all three competitors. I mean, a great question as well, Avi. What is a question you will want to ask, right? I love how, Tone really opened up his heart and went personal and talked about his struggles with seizures. And as a performer, as a storyteller myself, I can only imagine, the anxiety that could probably elicit, right? Knowing that you might go on stage, but you also have you deal with seizures. And so him being able to open up and give his experience, strength, and hope, and say he has looked at that fear and he's been able to transcend it, to me is very powerful. John talked about and agreed with Miranda, what happens after this is done, right? And are we going to see that white light? Are we going to see our creator? John talked about what are the challenges that, you're going to have. And Miranda also talked about, and really quick, guys, we're going to be tallying all these votes right after Giselle. Okay, we're going to tally all those votes right after Giselle. We're going to be tallying all your votes right after we vote, guys. Okay, so put in your votes, guys. We're gonna keep on going forward. So ultimately, really quick, I also want to say, guys, John Amos is such an amazing human being, amazing storyteller, and he really doesn't do any interviews. He doesn't do podcasts, and the fact that he's chosen to share his heart and his soul and his mind with us tonight, to me, means so much. I remember his first time he came on with such energy, with such grace, with such humility, and coming here and sharing his experience and his strength about life, about storytelling. To me, I just have to take a moment and acknowledge that, and just watching Avi's beautiful tribute made me emotional. All that said, my vote is going to go with Tone. So I'm going to kick it away to Giselle.
It's always the last question that gets us. And there were so many great questions in the end. We are tallying all of your votes after I get mine in. So get those votes in now on YouTube, on Facebook. We're also on Twitch tonight for the second week in a row. That's exciting, right?
Yes,
we are expanding weekly. We are on Twitch. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook. We have 1,205 people watching right now on YouTube. YouTube is going to be the place to be very soon for all things TKN. It already is, but maybe sometime soon, that might be the only place you find us. Keep a lookout for that. For now, we are on Twitch. We are on YouTube. We are still on Facebook. We are getting to all of your votes after I give mine in. And what a topic. I work with a lot of special needs kids who also have seizures, and their compounded disabilities and conditions, I really don't want them to have to deal with anything else. And if I could take that one little part away from them and make their lives easier, I would. So Tone's question there really hit home for me. And that was, I don't even know what the word for that was. And then his second question, why can't we all just get along? Is there going to be a day when we all get along? And that is exactly why TKN was founded, to be here, to have us all get along, be brought together, realize that we have more in common than not, as we see Avi's hand making that peace sign, because that is what we want here in this world, is to find that peace, to realize that we are similar, that we all have a lot in common, and that we're not as different as we think we are. And sometimes we can agree to agree, and sometimes we can agree to disagree, but we can do it respectfully and maintain our individuality and share these brilliant ideas that we all have, just like Tone and Miranda and John Amos did this evening. And Miranda, going straight to the very foremost question in everybody's mind, what is there at the end? What do we see? And following that up, and Mr. Amos echoing that sentiment as well, but what he brought more to that question, experience, and wanting to know what that transition is going to be like. My vote is for John for this topic. So now,
can you guys hear me in the comment section? I want to know if everybody can hear me in the comment section. So just type in a yes, we can hear you, Avi, or we don't know why Giselle and Howard are stuck in real time smiling at us without saying anything, because that'll indicate that you can't hear me, which will be funny either way. Amos, I guess, gets Giselle's vote, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. All right, guys, I'm going to count your votes now. If you all can hear me, let me know. Yes, says Eric. Yes, we can hear you. Awesome, awesome. So, guys, I'm going to bring in Kelly to the party right now. Kelly's going to join the party. Kelly, you got Giselle, Howard in my hand. How do you feel about that?
Well, been there before. Hand can be a little creepy sometimes, but Giselle and Howard.
But not my hand, though, right, Kelly? No. My hand is not. My hand is the uncreepy hand.
The uncreepy hand of Avi Klein. Okay,
that's this so creepy.
Not at all. Yeah, no, nothing creepy about that. Nope. Just random. Yeah. Okay. Attacking fingers.
Attacking fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
God Almighty, guys and gals. Kelly White, Howard, and Giselle voted. Now you're going to vote. We're going to tally them. Kelly, Giselle, Howard, if you all could just rotate whenever you want and mention the name of the voter and the vote that you see on screen, that would be great right now.
Sure.
All right, guys. Kelly's on my feed here. He's going to do this live here. Kelly, I'm going to start tallying this thing as it stands right now. We see the score in the back, don't we, Kelly? You nobody else does. But you
I do.
Yep. All right.
Yep,
So here's this thing now and find out who advanced. Guys, the 11th hour, and it is the 11th hour because Kelly, when does round two begin, my friend?
Oh, round two. What are we doing round two?
Round two, guys and gals. Giselle?
September 21st.
21st of September.
Round two.
And what happened September 7th, guys?
Ooh, September 7th is the big reveal.
Now, Kelly, guys, you got to remember something. He's putting together a celebrity D&D show as we speak. Plus, he doesn't have to deal with second round business. He's a third rounder. So really, he's going to be watching. But Kelly, before we tally these votes, I want to let everybody understand one thing, because there's a certain person you're waiting for in round three, but he has to make it to round three first. We played your video. You sent him a message. You might have shocked the world. A lot of people messaged me, rather shocked, rather perplexed, if you will, because you mentioned that if Buff Bagwell draws one or two people in round number two, it makes no difference. You're going to be rooting for him to win his second round matchup. Am I right, Kelly?
You're absolutely correct. I'm going to be looking out for my little buddy Marcus Bagwell. I'm going to be observing his opponents and shooting him some hints and tidbits, because, like I said, I want him to roll through round two straight into round three, straight to me.
Straight to Kelly White. Guys and gals, Kelly White is a third rounder, but we did mention something else that took place earlier on Pete's Live. That's why you got to watch the lives, guys. Giselle is in round number 3. Pete is in round number 3. But there was something that took place a bit earlier, guys and gals and pals. I don't know if I have the video for this right now, but I will have the video on the black box because Pete had addressed Giselle when she was watching his live earlier. What do I mean by live? I mean that the following: Giselle, Howard, Kelly White, Joe Rositano, Pete Sharpie, they all go live on Friday or Saturday to let you know a bit about the Green Room, about the episode coming up, about some of the elements and segments and why you shouldn't miss the Green Room. But something happened on Pete's Live in the comment section, and I got involved as well. So a very big announcement regarding Pete and Giselle. Giselle's not really pleased about this, but you're going to find out in the black box if you want to know what I'm talking about. 8 p.m. Eastern time, guys and gals, on Joe Rositano's page. That's Joe Rizart, R-I-Z-A-R-T. And guys, let's not forget that YouTube is going to be the exclusive home of the black box very soon. And if you like Kelly White and what he stands for and his talk show, if you like Giselle and what she stands for with her talk show, same can be said for Howard, as well as Joe, as well as Megan, as well as Pete Sharpie. Guys, they have their own talk shows. JW has his own talk show, Howard. He's got his own talk show. He may have your own talk show based on the stipulation. Howard, guys and gals, is going to be facing JW in round number 2. That's the only announced matchup in round number 2. But how about this, Kelly and Giselle? On September 7th, we're going to find out live. Yeah. We're going to find out how many people, not 1, not 10, not 20. We're going to find out what happens when 128 people find out who they'll be facing.
Oh
my God. And more on that soon, because I got a list I'm going to showcase here in a minute. But guys, we're going to count your votes right about now.
Yes.
All right, let's pull this stuff up here.
All right.
Guys, you may want to vote on YouTube if I don't see it on Facebook. I could see it on Facebook, but I cannot pull it up unless I do one of these. I might refresh here. You might just see Kelly White right now for a moment. So, Kelly, if you can take over for a couple of seconds, I'd appreciate that.
Okay, we can do that. So they're and what is it's a little technical glitch, and he just has to do some refreshing, get the feed turned back on. It's not a big deal. Happens on occasion. Usually it's seamless. They're remote. If you remember episode 200, I got to be there myself, and see, they're back. It was just a simple little thing. Everything's good. Count them, Joe. Let's count them votes.
Now we got this Facebook comments, guys. All right, here we go. Here are your votes.
See what we got.
Guys, Kelly's going to see these votes in real time, so Kelly's going to count them out loud and also mention who's voting for who. Chad, you're right. Kelly wants Buff badly in round number 3, and I think the feeling's mutual. There's no doubt about that, but Buff got to make it a round 3. All right, here we go. First vote, guys, for this particular topic. Julio, Kelly.
All right. I think Loke takes this one. I feel we all got along. I feel if we all got along, we would always do what's best for humanity, which could give us some of the answers we seek, since life would mean more than money at that point. Very well put. So there's a vote for Tone Loke.
Awesome. Tone Loke gets a vote there.
Julio.
Absolutely, Julio. We got more votes right now, guys and gals, in case we missed it. Kelly?
Okay, Chad Dixon says, just in case you missed it, I vote for Tone Loke in topic 2. There's another.
Tone making a comeback. Time and again, Kelly, Giselle, and Howard, wouldn't you all three agree that we can't count somebody out until the final topic has not only been discussed, but tallied?
Oh, it's absolutely true. If you remember any of the round 1 matches, look what happened with Jason London.
Yep.
He had a different strategy than most, and it paid off for him in that 3rd topic. So once that, you can't count anybody out until that 3rd topic is done and the votes are tallied, because these are cumulative. They do add up over time, but someone might hit the one topic really, really well, flounder on the other 2, or they'll come back really strong on that 3rd topic because everyone wants to win. How much is that stake, Howard?
$13,000, potentially might be increasing more than $13,000. All right. Okay. And that 3rd topic, I will say it's really the I'm sorry, that 2nd topic is really the moment where they really start opening up their hearts. We saw that a lot in the round 1 where, you know,
back then there were 3 topics, and the 3rd topic was the thought-provoking one. I try to make sure they're all thought-provoking, but right now, guys, round number 2 is going to have 2 topics, which makes it even tougher to advance beyond that. And I have a big announcement before Kelly reads DJ Solo's vote. A huge announcement that's going to affect Kelly, Giselle, and Howard. I've been waiting for this for a couple of weeks.
Oh, wow.
Batting it around a bit. Guys and gals and pals, yet another reason to watch In Details, The Howard Show, Paper Knife, and the other shows hosted by this incredible cast of artists and storytellers and competitors and hosts. Guys and gals and pals, if you, and I mean you, Howard, I mean you, Giselle, I mean you, Kelly, if you win your next tournament matchup, guys and gals and pals, there's going to be a special surprise that I won't announce right now, but I will make this announcement. Your matchups will not only be so important because you can make it beyond the round that you're currently in, but your matchups will air exclusively on your own talk show.
Whoa!
You guys want to see Kelly in the round number 3, maybe against Bagwell? Guess you got to watch In Details. You guys want to see Howard and JW? Guess you got to watch The Howard Show. You want to see whoever Giselle faces off? Guess you got to watch Paper Knife. So when it comes to the Green Roomers, their matchups, don't worry, because everything else is going to air on the Green Room. Last I checked, we got 52 matchups in round 2. 52 of them. So that means about 44, 45 will be on the Green Room. The rest, when it comes to the Green Roomers, when it comes to their respective matchups, it's going to air on their channel. What do you guys think about that? Your own talk shows will have your own matchup.
That's what I'm talking
I like that, especially if I get buff, because it's going to be welcome to my house, brother.
Essentially, it'll be a road game for Bagwell or anybody who faces Kelly on In Details, or you guys as well. Risitano in the voiceover. Now, what if a Green Roomer faces a Green Roomer? Will be a toss-up, maybe a bit of a coin toss. But, guys, you never know how it's going to shake down. It's all going to be random. September 7th, you'll find out those matchups. Kelly, our friend DJ Solo is ready to vote.
Yes.
Okay, and he says, I vote for Tone in topic 2. Will everyone come together? And I'm going to ad-lib for him. That had me as soon as he said it. I feel the same, brother. Same thing, man. Another one for Tone.
Appreciate that, Kelly. Absolutely, yeah. I concur. Another vote, Kelly.
My vote, and this is from Rita Gooding. Gooding? One of the two. But Rita says, my vote for topic 2 is Tone. Man's taking it home on this topic.
Sir. Making a huge comeback. There's no doubt about that, guys. Tone, we're going to pull up all your votes. Keep voting on YouTube or Facebook. I might refresh one more time on Facebook land in about 2 minutes, and Kelly will read the rest in the meantime. Radio Quahog, Kelly.
All right. Radio Quahog says, I vote for Tone in topic 2. He is racking them up. He may have to do another song just about these votes.
Kelly, Giselle, and Howard, will there be ties available from this point on?
No,
that's it. They're done.
No, this is the last chance for any kind of a tie.
Kelly said, last chance. You want to talk about the last chance? There was the Second Chance Bowl. We had those matchups. Guys, not easy to book. We're glad we had those because with Second Chance Bowl, you announce who's going to be there. And with only about 12 participants, you have to make sure they're there. They all were. That's what we do here on TKN. We make sure we deliver. We had some surprises as well. Jamie Sparling was in the Second Chance Bowl matchup. Miranda, guys, and a Green Room Original was on tonight. This is what we do here on TKN. And remember, in case of a tie, could be a 3-way tie. You never know. We've seen those. That means all 3 advance. We'll see if that goes down. 2 out of 3 will advance. At least we know that. All right.
Very good.
We have more.
More
Kelly White, here's another one.
All right, who we got? Allison Wheaton. I vote for Miranda again for topic 2 also.
That's Miranda.
So another Miranda fan of what she put out there. Nothing wrong with that. So another vote for Miranda.
Thank you, Allison.
Eric Beneski. I vote for Miranda again in question 2. So Miranda's starting a little roll here.
Here we go, guys.
She's one of us.
And guys, remember, join us every Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the Green Room because you're wondering, well, wait a minute. I heard about September 7th and to 21st of September. Those are going to be mega colossal shows. They will. September 7th, you might have more than 50 people on the show. I'll tell you that right now. I can't announce the number because I'm still trying to work those calls. We already have a massive amount of people. We heard an audio today, Giselle and Howard, right? Live. So a lot of luminaries coming down the pike for the September 7th show. Kelly's going to be there. Howard's going to be there. Giselle's going to be there. We're all going to see them on screen, no doubt, on September 7th in one shape or form. In some capacity, they're all going to be there. But how about this? Next Saturday night, guys, you got to watch the outro. But will we see the Hauser Odalock Joe Risitano battle of black box match? Let's not sleep on that. Winner hosts the black box. And as you saw, Tank Abbott with 15 minutes notice about 3 weeks back, he showed up on the black box. So you never know who might appear on the black box. And starting in the month of September when it premieres live on YouTube, I'm going to tell you right now, there's already 6 luminaries booked for the black box. So Hosting that show is going to be a big deal. You'll see less of Avi Klein in that show, more of the host, and that's going to be phenomenal. So let's tune in for that. Sure. And of course, guys, next week there might be a very interesting, captivating, illuminating conversation that has never aired before on the Green Room. Ooh, with a luminary, maybe even featuring a luminary we've never even seen before on the Green Room. How about that? Wow. So that's next Saturday. Another celebrity that we've never seen. Guys, as we get ready for September 7th, a lot of work to be done behind the scenes. So next week, we're still going to be live. That's what we do. We'll still give you analysis because we don't take any days or nights off. We don't take any days or nights off because that's what the TKN guys and gals is here for you 24/7. I heard a lot of places that you frequent might close. Their drive-thrus aren't open 24 hours like advertised. We are. We are that drive-thru that's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just don't message me at 2:30 in the morning asking if Howard Clough's got a chance to win this thing, because he doesn't. But
I'll answer directly.
How about this, guys and gals? August 31st, we're going to have a thorough analysis and a breakdown based on categories I've selected.
Whoa.
That, in my opinion, makes these contenders. That's going to be a very interesting sort of analytical kind of a show. Yeah. And then all leading up to the big mega show on September 7th. It's going to be a bonanza, an extravaganza, if you will. Kelly, you know this man very well.
All right, Larry Vingon Limley, good friend of mine. I am voting Tone Loke this round. So Tone is back on track, racking up votes.
Tone coming back.
Thank you, Larry.
Hey, thanks, Larry.
Thank you, Larry.
Good
dude. More votes, guys.
Yeah, we've got more coming. We
Michelle
are getting to all of your votes. We're tallying them.
States awesome round. My vote for round 2 is John Amos back in the saddle, collecting a vote. Love it.
Awesome.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. And we might go all the way back to topic 1 because, again, Facebook wasn't counting your votes earlier. But guess what? We find ways around that because never will we ignore a comment or a vote. That's not what we do over here. You matter to us. You matter to all of us. And we say that behind the scenes as well. All right, here, guys and gals. We have a bit more, a couple more votes as I scroll up here in real time. So just bear with me. Look, even Risitano couldn't believe it. What? John Amos, Miranda Tiffany, Tone Loke, all here in the house, guys and gals. Very, very true. We have another vote from a guy who I value as a human being, someone you might be seeing more frequently soon as well. And also in round number 2 via the Second Chance Bowl, Jamie.
Okay, Jamie Sparling. Give it to Tone Loke. Thank you, Jamie. Good to see you back, brother.
All right. Thanks,
Guys,
Jamie.
Jamie, Eric Roberts. And the unsung hero of that matchup, Eliza, as well, Eric's wife. Maybe we'll see her in this tournament. You know, it might be an 11th hour matchup. Guys, you asked me about the next 11th hour matchup. From this point on, it could happen anytime. It could happen on a black box, on a talk show. And I mean this because, guys, Howard, Giselle, and Kelly, please jump in here. You guys really have no clue who's coming in until you watch the show live.
Oh, absolutely not.
I made a very big point on my live that I was totally clueless. And it seems to me my general state of affairs on guessing who's showing up, thanks to your extremely vague hints, Avi.
They are vague.
Well,
they are vague.
But they do always make sense.
But in that respect, Kelly, we got to give up to Chad, who usually gets these right. Isn't that incredible?
He does. Yeah, it must be a Canadian thing. I don't know.
Must be. And guys, Chad's top 10, we might play that today. I might play it Wednesday and next Saturday. We'll see. But I definitely am going to make sure that you guys tune into Chad's top 10, maybe returning tonight or Wednesday and next Saturday. We'll see. But definitely Chad's top 10 is a fixture here on the Green Room. More votes, guys. I promise you I ain't stalling. Let's see here. I'm definitely not stalling. I was trying to think of a Woody Joseph Stalin joke, but there really isn't any. There
That's a tough one. That's a tough room.
All right.
Chad's top 10 is always thoughtful and well put together.
But there is a joke if you want to insult Vladimir Putin.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Here's a joke. Guys and gals, if you ever want to pay a compliment to Vladimir Putin, he doesn't believe it because he has so much hate in the media. So if a journalist ever told Putin that he's a great guy, his response to that would be, you ready for this? Quit Putin me on. Sorry. Guys and gals, I've been on vacation with Giselle and Howard, so I'm all joked out. I'm sorry, but I promise you they'll get better. It'll get better.
That is not supposed to be on record. Yes.
We are now doing topic number 1. We're going backwards, guys.
All right.
Anything can happen in the Green Room and TKN. Julio Negron voting for the first topic. And Kelly, who did he vote for? Good sir.
Julio.
Okay, Julio drops this for topic 1. This is just too tough to vote. Can't disagree. I have to split apples and go with Miranda.
I like the apple reference too. Nice, very cool.
Yes.
Lake
The
series.
only new.
Because that was a reference to her character in the lake, guys and gals, and a lot of characters in the lake. Very cool, very cool. All right, here, guys and gals, we have more votes from topic 1 that we're going to count now. All right, Allison says she loves plants. Quit pooting me on, Allison. All right. Here we go. Back to topic 1. We got Larry again, Kelly.
Okay. All right, Larry Limley. I vote for John Amos. Topic 1. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks, Larry.
Thank you, Larry.
We got some more here, guys, that we might have missed.
See, this is why you need to stick around for both topics or however many topics we have in a match.
Allison loves Giselle's energy. Very good.
Oh,
Does that mean Giselle's really a plant?
Could be.
Oh.
Could be. But if you've watched the opening of the show, Kelly, you're going to ask some questions a bit later on. We're not going to have too much longer of a show, guys. But Kelly, you were rather intrigued by Howard Collado, apparently in a very hypnotic state. It seemed as if he didn't know where he was when we started live. Giselle was trying to get his attention. He seemed rather shell-shocked. It seems as if JW and Howard Collado, their feud, if you want to call it that, has taken a twist that I would dare say is a bit dark and also a bit dangerous. And Kelly, we're going to address Howard. Let's just do it now. Why not? Between votes. Are you surprised that Howard's descent into madness seemingly knows no end in sight?
Certainly not shocked. I think I'm a little surprised at the time frame from which he has arrived here. But I think, and it may be due to my urgings, because I've had a few words with Howard about his upcoming match with JW, and I've really urged him to figure some things out. And I think old Howard might be onto something here. So, Howard, you want to enlighten me a little bit on the grand plan? What's up?
Well, the grand plan. The grand plan, you see, the thing is, Kelly, if I communicate with you what that grand plan is, there is a good chance that JW may also be listening. So if I reveal some things right now, you might, take that into account and use it against me.
And Howard, say no more, my little friend. Just keep it under your imaginary hat. But know that I am watching it unfold with the keenest of interest. And I do hope it comes to fruition for you.
See, but I will say this, Kelly. The stakes are getting higher. It's getting beyond than just competition. You could interpret that and say, and we all love that damn freaking song. What I was trying to say is that it's getting... It's getting beyond the personal here. It's crossing lines.
Guy's starting to bug me. JW, just saying. Really hope Howard has this one figured out, because obviously JW getting pretty good at pulling on his chain and pushing his buttons and getting him all frazzled. So Got to calm down, Howard. Can I give you? Let me give you one little piece of advice. Can I do that for you, Howard?
Please.
Let's if JW's image doesn't interrupt us, this is what I'm gonna say. Occasionally, someone will cross that line that we all have, and they kick a little dirt onto your shoes, or maybe kick you in the ankle a little bit, cause some pain. And do you know what the best thing in my personal experience is to do when somebody does that? You grab them and you push them so far back against the wall on the other side of the line, they'll never see it again. That's my advice.
I appreciate that, Kelly. I'll take that into consideration.
Do that.
Guys and gals, more votes.
Yeah,
we got votes.
I don't know what's going to happen between JW and Howard, but I know that my fate is in the hands of not only JW, but one Howard Collado. Stipulations again, should Howard win his match in round 2 against JW, the only announced match thus far in round number 2, should Howard Collado win his match, he will eliminate both JW and myself. That means whoever I draw for round 2, that particular matchup won't take place until after the Howard JW matchup. Because if Howard wins against JW, I won't have a matchup. Those who I'll face will be inserted into other brackets and other matchups. And I'll be gone. I'll be persona non grata. Now, if JW wins his match, I will have a match coming up. After that, Howard will be eliminated, and JW will forever and a day take over the Howard show under this great umbrella. So those are the stipulations. I know we have a lot of new viewers. That's what it's all about. More votes, guys. Back to topic number 1.
All right.
I believe this comes from Michelle, Kelly.
Okay. Michelle Gates. Miranda for topic 1.
Awesome.
Really nothing wrong with that.
Thank you, Michelle.
We have Allison.
For topic 1.
Topic number 1. Kelly White. Guys, Allison is voting for Miranda. I don't know if Kelly could hear me. Kelly, if you can hear me, let me know. All right, here. Can you hear us, Kelly White? Allison just voted for, well, not just, but she voted for Miranda.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. A little technical
That's
snap
okay.
on my side, I suppose.
No problem. Allison voted for Miranda, so we know that. That's cool.
Gotcha.
We have another one, I believe, for Miranda. Let me pull this up. This comes from Eric.
Eric Beneski votes for Miranda. So Miranda back on track here. So
Nice,
everybody kind of taking their cycle into garnering some votes here.
Kelly, these votes are on the up and up. We're tallying this backstage as we speak, are we not?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm the epitome of that. And even if it ends up being a day later, the votes are counted and the right thing gets done at TKN, even though some people have a hard time believing in that.
Guys, Kelly didn't lose his match. I'll say it here live. I've said it before. Didn't lose his first round matchup. We all know what happened there. Buff and Kelly are still in this tournament. DJ Solo, Kelly White for topic number 1.
Okay. Topic number 1, DJ Solo. I'm going for Amanda.
Wow.
Nice.
Another vote for Miranda. Guys and gals, this is getting heated right now because I'm looking at this and the differential between all 3. 1 second. The differential between all 3 is 1. Do we have 2 ties? Yeah. No, we have. Oh my gosh, we have 1 that's in the lead by 3.
Wow.
The other's in the lead by 1.
Holy
So
cow.
this thing is real
This is neck
real
and neck.
tight.
It is.
We have another one. Myron, this was definitely a great matchup. Welcome back, John, is the theme. I'll talk about John in a minute, guys. John and I go back close to 4 years. I write professionally for John, and I've written professionally for John. Haley's Comet, something he's performed over 500 times on stage. It's being adapted to the full screen as a full feature-length film.
Awesome.
And working on Haley's Comet, I've shown it before. We've had writers' room meetings that have been recorded and phone conversations. In the last 6 or so months, John's been dealing with a lot. Here he is. He's back at it. He wants to win this tournament. A lot of people thought that maybe he wouldn't be back. And going through a lot of things that we all do in life, but he is ready now to compete and win this tournament. It's something that's been on his mind for a very long time. And He touched me when he responded and said, doubly for me, because that's something we say for each other as well, that we lift each other up a lot during moments and times and conversations that can only be heard through the privacy of a bedroom or living room or dining room on the phone when he and I have these conversations that go everywhere. He's a true friend and someone who I'm glad is doing a lot better, because John Amos, guys and gals, as a contender, might be one of the top contenders. The man,
Hell yeah.
very captivating, has a presence about him, and knows the English language as well as anyone I know.
I keep saying in order to get everybody we need to into the top 10, we have to group them together. And now we have another John included in that grouping of Johns that already exists for the top 10. I would not be surprised if he ends up winning this whole thing.
Absolutely.
Sharp mind, beautiful heart, and a strong spirit. I mean, that right there embodies to me what John Amos is.
Tyler Mohad, anyone else getting hyped for this? Thank you so much for your nice words, Tyler. We appreciate you. Watch us every Saturday Night Live. Comment a lot. We love the comments. I'm going to refresh this page in a minute. So that means myself, Howard, and Giselle, along with my hand, will be off screen.
Back to the hand for now.
But Kelly White's going to take over for about half a minute before we keep tallying more votes.
All right. So quick 30 seconds of me. How about that? I mean, it is great to see John back. Avi had mentioned some time ago, it's been a while, but had mentioned some health issues John was having. And it was really touching how Avi, stated that it wasn't, any kind of gossip. It was genuine concern. But, it had me concerned, and I don't know John. I don't know John personally. I am a fan of his work. I've expressed that. And he always, no matter what character he's played, he's always come across as having a kind soul. And, his knowledge and range, I would hate to see that lost. So it is so good to see him back in the running, ready to go. And just jumping off what Howard said, the other things he brought, to me, he brought such a sense of just simply being relaxed in his space with everyone around. He was not hurried. He was not rushed. He was not flummoxed by anything. He is just so relaxed. He brings peace to the table, and I appreciate that.
Well said, Kelly. And I would obviously concur. Your sentiments are exactly what I was thinking of, and I'm glad you expressed them, because we are seeing right now, guys, the best of humanity here in this tournament, and we are seeing so many great human beings. And you're wondering who could win this thing? Well, how about this? I've never said this. About as many people on this planet that have a lot of good inside them. And it turns out, as we're finding out and discovering here, there's a whole lot of them. There's a whole lot of human beings that can put good out to this world. And if maybe for 2 or 3 hours it can be documented here on a Saturday night, that's pretty cool. But what's awesome about the people I work with is 6 days out of the week, what goes unseen or unheard exemplifies this experience, because they are human beings that give so much of themselves when the camera is not on and the microphone is not plugged in. And I'm talking about Kelly White and Howard and Giselle. And I'm talking about the John Amoses of the world. I'm talking about God Almighty, guys. The list goes on and on. Jacques Rougeau, Mark Henry, Pete Sharpie, Joe Rositano, Stephen Tobolowsky, Bill Justin. The list goes on and on. This was for topic number 1. We didn't catch Pete's vote. So Pete votes for who, Kelly?
Pete says my vote is for Miranda on topic 1. So
oh, wow.
Go for the bear.
Kelly, I think, look at this. So the top vote getter, we're not going to announce who it is just yet, but the top vote getter was a person who didn't get one singular vote until topic number 2, Kelly. And that's the top vote getter. And then the other 2 amazing participants are tied as we speak. Am I right?
You are. Yeah. It's we got 1 leader and 2 in second right now.
Nice.
All right, guys.
Oh my God.
Pull up some of these comments. They might be out of place because, or a little bit out of rhythm, because we refreshed. But Megan's having a good time. Thanks for joining us. She's in round number 2 as well. She's got the Bloomosphere coming up. Guys and gals and pals, some more stuff here. This was during the JW and Howard conversation. A lot of great comments here. Love this rivalry, says Alexander Texador. Chad loves the music. One more time, please. Yes,
please.
it seems to be happening a lot. Gus says, hey, JW, let the man speak. Ouch. I'll have that song stuck in my head. Larry, so rude for JW to interrupt. Allison, the fire's pretty epic. Hashtag fire. Michelle Gates, quoting John Amos, is it happening to me or for me? What John said totally can be applied in the Howard situation.
Oh.
This Howard JW feud, if you want to call it that, is resonating with the masses. There's no doubt about that. Whenever we see, says Megan, whenever we see JW, Howard seems to get quite unsettled. I would echo those sentiments. Megan, dang, that's close, guys. The voting real close. Tight race, back to the votes, back to the tallies. Thanks, Alexander, regarding the film. I do write for a lot of luminaries behind the scenes. John's one of them. It's very special for me because he shares his inner thoughts and life with me, and I'm very honored that he does. We have some more votes, guys. I think do we have another one? Allison, you are right about this comment here let me pull this up here regarding myself, Giselle, and Howard Collado. Where was that? Giselle, Howard, and Avi are having a really awesome time. And we are, because we're also joined by Kelly White, guys.
We are.
From Casa White, we are joined by Kelly White. So, guys, I think I can't pull up any more votes. Giselle and Howard are going to count Kelly down, and he's going to announce this because he could see the numbers.
Okay.
He's going to announce first the individual with the most amount of votes who will be advancing to round number 2, and then he'll announce who else will be moving on to round number 2 with a lot of energy and pizzazz. We are excited. We want you guys to feel our excitement and our joy and our passion here live. Guys, 11th hour, this is it. This is the last matchup and last opportunity for 3 incredible participants to sneak their way into round number 2 of this star-studded tournament. Howard and Jill are going to count Kelly down from 10 starting now.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And moving straight into round 2 from the very first 11th hour match, the wild thing himself, Tone Loc, with 13 points.
And started Kelly with 0, if you remember.
He did. He started with nothing at the beginning of round 2. This is one of those Cinderella comeback stories. And I heard something great earlier today. Somebody said, hey, do you believe in miracles? And the person thought, they said, well, you better because you are one, because he just pulled a miracle out of the hat with that kind of comeback. But
well, absolutely. And guys and gals, the man also as a writer, the man as a lyricist, many a lyrical miracle from Tone Loc. Yeah. And here now, he is in round number 2 officially. Kelly, who joins Tone Loc in round number 2?
All right. In round number 2, coming in with 11 points.
Ooh.
John Amos and Miranda. 11 points, a tie between the two of them.
Wow. Guys, it's here in the private chat section. It's here in the private chat. I'm glad Kelly's with me because he could see it here. Yep. Miranda 11, Mr. Amos 11, Mr. Tone Loc 13. One of the closest matchups we've had in quite some time. And we do want to thank our audience. I know if you look at the ticker, it says 1205. We're actually down a little bit, but that's not a big deal. 1,193 are watching on YouTube Live right now. 1,193 have migrated to YouTube and are watching. And I do want to thank names that Giselle, Howard, and Kelly have never heard. I do want to thank Darren Keats. I do want to thank Mr. Michael Lucas. I do want to thank Sabrina and many others for allowing us to be on their pages, 53 plus Facebook group pages. And guys and gals and pals, they've got their YouTube channels. They're allowing their viewers to stream kind of like a simulcast. That's why we're getting a lot here on YouTube, because we have a lot of groups that believe in what we're doing, and they're not asking for anything in return. Kelly, Giselle, and Howard, I think we can dedicate a show to them probably sometime during the fall. I think that's a good idea, and I think that's a long time coming. Would you guys agree?
Absolutely. Yeah, I know we've talked about them before. That's the first time I've heard the names. But yeah, them allowing us to use their platform to get our message out definitely is worth very worthy of the nice things.
Absolutely, guys. There's no doubt. Alan Hudson, you as well. Guys, awesome people who, again, do this without any sort of pomp or circumstance. They don't expect the spotlight, but they do this because they care. And so do all of you. I want to give a big shout out again. Happy anniversary to Chad, he and his wife. Again, we appreciate you very much, Chad. I want to thank Brian Burr, guys. Brian does so very much. Got a new job. You're doing great. We appreciate you. Keep rocking. Ramon, guys, who does a lot behind the scenes. We appreciate Ramon as well. Larry Lemley, who's part of that awesome TNT D&D workshop that's led by the one and only Kelly White himself, the Dungeon Master. We have so many of you that do so much for us behind the scenes. You better believe on the flagship show of TKN, The Green Room, that you are going to get shouted out in the most positive way because you deserve that wholeheartedly. All about you guys. And Gus, you're hanging in there and doing great in life as well. You're always rebounding. You're a very resilient guy, Gus, and we like that about you. You're awesome people as well. Guys, so again, let's give it up for Tone Loc. Round of applause. Maybe a screenshot moment here, right here as we speak. Tone Loc, John Amos, and Miranda are all in round number 3. But from this point on, I know the pageantry. I know the showmanship, the camaraderie. It's all on full display. Kelly, Giselle, Howard, ain't no more ties coming up. That's a double negative on purpose. Ain't no more ties coming up in round number dose.
That's it. Sink or swim, one and done.
And what happens when there is a tie? One of you, the engine, you will be chosen. Your name will be drawn out of that hat, just like all of the names will be drawn out of that hat for the reveal show on the 7th to break that tie.
Yeah, the decision, all right, the responsibility. It's going to be on you guys.
You will have the power.
There's no doubt about that, guys and gals and pals. This is an incredible list that I want to show in a moment, guys.
Ooh.
You want to talk about celebrities here. You want to talk about talent that is a part of this tournament, including third rounders. I'm going to add 3 more to the list. Now, guys, my email address will not be shown. I will obscure that, if you don't mind, so nobody's able to see that. It will not be visible to the audience, but I am going to show you a number. And that number represents an alphabetical, list in alphabetical order, featuring over 125 luminaries that are part of this tournament. In this list, you'll see 125, but now we've added Miranda, Tone Loc, and John Amos to round number 2 of the celebrity tournament. It starts with A, it ends with Z. That's how massive this field is. Check this thing out, guys. And I'm going to have Kelly and Howard and Giselle just simply react as I continue reading names. Guys, check the screen out. You could watch it. We did this in the black box, but I promised I would do this as well on the green room. The following members of the TKN Celebrity Tournament are either in round 2 or round number 3. And remember, not all of them are. There were plenty that were eliminated that will not be back. Here are the participants in round number 2. And when you see these names, something very simple about this, something very apropos about this. Because again, all you're going to see is a name and a number. But as the list grows and grows, and as I scroll down further and further, you're going to realize that all of these people are in one place with one objective, with one singular objective, to win it all, to hoist the Tom Sizemore Memorial Trophy above their head, to win $13,000, which might increase, to spend 5 days and 5 nights in Greece, and to become Mr., Miss, or Mrs. TKN. Here's the list. It starts with A. David Tank Abbott, UFC and MMA legend. David Tank Abbott. ESPN anchor John Anderson.
Wow.
Engine member Sean Archer.
Ooh.
A man who's part of the Gymnastics Hall of Fame 3 to 4 times over, Miles Avery. Dear friend, former NBA owner, former general manager of guys, not one, but several NBA teams, including the Hawks and Nuggets, and a co-host of mine under this great network, Intertwining Thoughts, Mr. Pete Babcock.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
A man that's no stranger to Kelly White, also a man who hosts a show called The Stuff on the network, a second rounder as well, pro wrestling legend Marcus Buff Bagwell. Again, you're looking at names here, guys, in case you're joining us. A lot of times this happens very sporadically. Sometimes you might be visiting different pages on Facebook or YouTube rather spontaneously. You may not know why you're looking at this list. This is a list of second and third round participants, a complete list of every single second round, third round participant in the TKN Celebrity Tournament, alphabetically, no less. NBA Hall of Famer, the Michael Jordan before Jordan, one of the all-time greats on anyone's list, and co-host of Hall of Fame Hangout, Rick Barry.
WWE Hall of Famer Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Oh, yeah.
WWE Hall of Famer and a man who ran Ted Turner's WCW, Eric Bischoff.
Oh, yeah.
A man who's in the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame and co-host of Live in the Hive with yours truly, Avi Klein, B. Brian Blair. A co-host of mine as well, a man who also is a film and TV star. We know him from Different Strokes and other projects, Todd Bridges.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
WWE Hall of Famer, a man who now does not consider Hauser a jabroni, Mr. Gerald Briscoe.
Briscoe.
Don't call her downtown. That's another Julie. But, guys, you can call her a WGA award winner. A comedian extraordinaire, Julie Brown. Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer, jumping Jim Brunzell, who came into this tournament with 2 hours' notice.
Yep.
Yeah, I did.
Film and TV star and a firefighter as well, a man who saves lives. Kelly was there on that broadcast.
Yep.
Mr. Robert Burke.
Good dude. Good dude.
Another Engine member, Brian Burr.
Brian.
A man who may not be here much longer if he allows JW to get to him, Mr. Howard Collado, Green Room Original, host of The Howard Show. NBA legend and soon-to-be Naismith Basketball Hall of Famer, the one and only Michael Cooper.
Woo.
And he likes the sweet nectar. He likes the sound of it.
Orgasms.
Yep.
We saw these testimonials last week, guys and gals. He's here to win it all. Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer and absolute innovator, Rob Van Dam.
Whoa.
Rob Van Dam. A baseball Hall of Famer and one of the all-time greats, New York Yankee and Boston Red Sox, Johnny Damon.
Yep.
Some of you know him as Crusher Khrushchev. Some know him as Demolition Smash. We know him as Barry Darsow, Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer. Barry Darsow. Comedian extraordinaire. A man who was one of the stars of In Living Color. An innovative show that definitely, in my opinion, could have probably still spoken to the masses today with its brilliant writing and comedy. Tavi Davidson.
Yeah.
Tommy.
Yep.
Guys and gals, don't include the D in his last name, but you should include Oscar nominee, Golden Globe nominee, Emmy Award nominee, Tony Award nominee,
Whoa.
Mr. Bruce Davison, Mr. highly decorated Bruce Davison.
Oh,
Guys and gals, a man who's always shown everyone the money. He might win some more himself. WWE Hall of Famer, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
Yeah. Show me the money.
NFL Hall of Famer, we saw him in that tribute to Tone Loc, a dear friend of Tone's. Guys, Mr. Eric Dickerson.
Nice.
One of the greatest running backs of all time. One of the greatest heavyweights of all time. The first man to knock out Iron Mike Tyson, James Buster Douglas.
Ooh.
WWE Hall of Famer, many times over, guys and gals, in different halls of fame. Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
All right.
A man known as either the Masked Superstar or, of course, Demolition Axe, the other half of Demolition, and a man who inspires many with his help towards the underprivileged and the youth in this country, Bill Eadie, a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
Guys and gals, the man who said holy moly when he was introduced and gave us a bit of Bud Bundy himself, David Faustino of Married with Children fame. These are all participants that you're going to see in round 2, and there's three others officially, as of now at least, that are in round number 3. The incredible Hulk himself, guys, the man that inspired Hulk Hogan to try to get that as a trademark, Lou Ferrigno, who's also a Hall of Famer in the bodybuilding world, an absolute living legend, Lou Ferrigno, who watches the show live. Hello, Lou.
Oh, yeah.
A 3-time Grammy Award winner as part of Prince's band The Revolution in the 80s, Dr. Matt Fink.
Wow.
And I'm only up to number 32 here, guys. WWE Hall of Famer, New York Times best-selling author, known him as Mankind. You might know him as Cactus Jack or Dude Love. We know him as Mick Foley, guys. One of the all-time greats. 3-time world heavyweight champion as well, Mick Foley. A dear friend of mine, guys, and soon-to-be co-host. You know her from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Guys and gals, you know her from the Amityville Horror, Diane Franklin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our only, but what an only it is. What an only it is. Our only NHL star. Happens to be a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest goalies of all time.
Nice.
Ask Wayne Gretzky. Grant Fuhr.
Yeah.
Guys and gals and pals, an award-winning director and writer and a very sweet, kind man who does so much, takes care of his wife as well, loves to do that because he knows where his priorities are. Mr. Mick Garris.
All right.
How about this? Soon to maybe be a second rounder. That's an announcement I'm going to make on the Black Box. You never know what's going to happen when she faces Pete in an unsanctioned match. Giselle, Kelly, will she be in the 3rd round? We will find out Wednesday if she's still in round number 3 along with you. Guys, Kelly is definitely in round number 3. Will Pete and Giselle continue to join Kelly in that 3rd round, or will one of them move down to round number 2? I'll explain on Wednesday night on the Black Box.
And Wednesday, guys.
Guys and gals, a man who, of course, inspired many to realize that life is a lot of fun. In case you needed to find out exactly what time it was, he reminded you that, whoop, there it is. There's the clock. Mr. DC Glenn himself.
Nice.
A pro wrestling legend already at his young age, and also an MMA undefeated fighter, Mr. Jake Hager, formerly known as Jack Swagger of the WWE. NBA Hall of Famer, one of the greatest point guards of all time, bar none, Tim Hardaway Sr.
Nice.
A man, guys, who challenged and won. He took this to the Supreme Court. He made sure that underclassmen had the opportunity. Of course, we know that I'm not going to get on a soapbox here, but we know a lot of universities profit off a lot of collegiate stars up until recently. A man who took that to the Supreme Court and won is Mr. Spencer Haywood, one of the greatest Hall of Fame talents as well of all time. A friend of mine as well, guys, soon to be co-host, and a person who's been nominated for Oscars and Golden Globes, Miss Mariel Hemingway.
Woo-hoo.
A dear friend, someone who I faced in round number one. One of my best friends and a guy who's got Lifting the Curtain soon debuting on the new network, Mr. Mark Henry, two-time U.S. Olympian, guys and gals, and of course, Hall of Famer in the WWE. A man who, of course, was a commentator on ESPN for 20 years and also a football great, Merle Hodge. A guy who I'll be writing with very soon, a horror film buff, aficionado, writer, director of Child's Play, of Fright Night, Mr. Tom Holland.
Whoa.
Guys and gals, not one but two Hughes. They are not related, but they are both special human beings indeed. You might know him as Little Gage from Pet Sematary. He was also in Kindergarten Cop, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and many more films as a young child star, Miko Hughes.
Ooh.
And a man who inspired us on the green room. The only man to go solo here in this tournament. You have to watch a previous episode to know what that means. A man who's won many championships and one of the first ever UFC Hall of Famers, Matt Hughes.
Whoa.
Matt Hughes.
Very awesome.
One of the most decorated U.S. Olympians of all time, Dan Jansen.
Whoa.
A pro wrestling legend herself, Mickie James.
Yes.
An NFL Hall of Fame quarterback and one of the greatest broadcasting legends on planet Earth, Mr. Ron Jaworski.
Ooh.
The first ever Canadian Baseball Hall of Famer. We're talking, guys and gals, Cooperstown, Ferguson Jenkins. The very ominous and eerie Pinocchio Joe. Pinocchio Joe. We'll see Campfire Tales pretty soon on this network as well. His own show. How's that going to work? A dear friend, NBA legend and current Phoenix Suns commentator, Eddie Johnson, one of the greatest scorers of all time. No doubt about that. The man could score better than almost anybody. A two-time athlete, I should say a two-sport athlete, who excelled in the NFL and MLB. Not too many of those around.
Nope.
Mr. Brian Jordan.
Ooh.
Mr. Brian Jordan.
Mr.
Brian Jordan. Guys, the night is young, so don't worry. There are more to come. Guys, I don't know why he's here at Z. Well, actually, I do know why, because his last name is Judah. One of the greatest lightweights of all time. A man who held three, not one, not two, but three titles simultaneously. Mr. Zab Judah, Boxing Hall of Famer, and once protege of Mike Tyson. How about that? A baseball Hall of Famer, guys and gals, a man who is a Yankee, a man who has excelled many times over as a broadcaster as well. David Justice.
Yes.
Our very own green roomer, Phil Justin, who has a show on the network as well. Guys and gals, stage royalty. Everyone bows down in the acting world, at least. Not that he asks for it. Cindy Pickett herself wanted to just speak to him on the show. Mr. Stacy Keach, a man who's an Oscar, Emmy, Obie, Golden Globe. God almighty, the man has won more awards than I have fingers. I brought that up so I can showcase my hand.
I was just going to say, we might see some more fingers in the broadcast.
All right, in case this gig doesn't work, I am lobbying for a hand modeling position somewhere on planet Earth. Maybe Abu Dhabi, somewhere. Guys and gals, New Zealand, Antarctica, somewhere. We also have one of the greatest Olympians of all time. She's won many awards. She's inspired many people. Nancy Kerrigan.
Yes.
Some guy named Avi Klein. And guys, speaking of Kleins, we also have a man who starred in Three's Company, now teaches this craft, has done so for over 30 years. Richard Klein, you know him as Larry Dallas from Three's Company. First half of the Nasty Boys I'm going to announce here, guys and gals. Just spoke to him last night. Giselle and Howard were on the phone as well. Guys, as nasty as he wants to be, Mr. Brian Knobs. Mr. Brian Knobs. Man, a man who could win this thing. A pro wrestling Hall of Famer, a great speaker. You guys remember him in the 80s as the Russian nightmare, Nikita Koloff.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, America's
Great.
dad, maybe, yes, but a very warm-hearted human being. You knew him as the father in the Wonder Years, Mr. Jack Arnold. We know him as Dan Lauria.
Yeah.
A man who could win it all. WWE Hall of Famer and broadcasting legend, former Fox News analyst John JBL Layfield.
John. Powerhouse.
One of the first official Green Roomers and the first co-host of mine under this great umbrella years ago, before it evolved into TKN, Mr. Glacier Ray Lloyd, who also has Breaking the Ice. Glacier Ray Lloyd and Avi Klein, and a pro wrestling legend as well. Guys and gals, the London Brothers. Very different guys, both very strong competitors. They have shows on this network. One is called From London to You. The other is called London is Burning. They are burning, and they have a burning desire to enter round number 2 soon. Jason and Jeremy London. Film and TV stars. WWE Hall of Famer, guys and gals. A man who definitely knows how to play the game because he's quite the player himself. Teddy Long.
Teddy.
The most decorated Olympian other than, guys, Michael Phelps. Other than Mark Spitz. We're talking about Greg Louganis. Greg Louganis.
Ledecky in there now, too.
Guys, an Emmy Award nominee and one of the greatest comics ever during a boom period for SNL, Mr. John Lovitz. NBA Hall of Famer and a man who could literally memorize and has a telephone book. One of the top 50 NBA players of all time when they originally unveiled that list in '97, Mr. Jerry Lucas. Mr. Jerry Lucas. Guys, an NBA bruiser, a man who did not apologize for his style of play when he bruised Michael Jordan up and the rest of the Chicago Bulls and did them a lot of harm. Admittedly, guys, he played the game the way that it was allowed to be played. Mr. Rick Mahorn, the enforcer himself. Mr. Rick Mahorn. A man, guys and gals, who also has won so many Emmys, been nominated for Oscar awards and also Tonys, Mr. Joe Mantegna. One of the greatest storytellers you'll ever have the pleasure of listening to or meeting. One half of Kid and Play, a man who's won a lot of awards, Team Desk Awards as well, Nickelodeon Awards, guys. Pure music, but man, oh man, did it resonate with the masses, and man, oh man, did it epitomize what hip-hop should be. Christopher Play Martin.
Yes.
We saw him recently, guys. You didn't think he was still around, but of course he is. He's still a dear friend of mine. There's no doubt about that. But the tournament, you didn't know he was in the tournament, even though he was still co-hosting his show, Masterclass with me. Now he's in this tournament in round number 2, Mr. Dakin Matthews. Mr. Dakin Matthews, guys and gals.
Someone loves Dakin here.
And pals. NFL legend. Super Bowl MVP. Co-host of Gym Time with a J with yours truly, Avi Klein. The one and only Jim McMahon. Green Room original and host of the Bloomosphere, Megan.
Yes.
Boxing Hall of Famer, former heavyweight champion of the world, and a very decorated Olympian who's won gold medals as well, Mr. Ray Mercer.
Are y'all hearing this?
Man, that Kelly and I really enjoy. We enjoy him. He's a very introspective human being, a man who was part of one of the toughest matchups in round number 1, but he's in round number 2, Mr. Mark Metcalf.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, he asked us all in the 80s. He asked Dee Snider, what do you want to do with your life? Dee said, I want to rock. Mark said, okay, that was a deleted scene. I will allow you to rock if you allow me to participate in this music video. The rest is history. College Football Hall of Famer, Mr. Bryant McKinney is in this.
Yes.
Guys, Ralph the Mouth. We're talking Don Most of Happy Days fame. Love what he said when asked if you want to win this. Absolutely. I'm here to win this entire thing with that smile on his face. He was confident. He's in round number 2. Guys, NBA Hall of Famer. When his name was called here, he was ready to go. We knew he was sharp as attack. And guys, also one of the greatest players of all time, a Hall of Famer 2 times over, Calvin Murphy.
Ooh, yeah.
Calvin Murphy. He symbolizes what's right in Houston. Guys and gals, another co-host of mine, a man who I really enjoy as a human being and a dear friend of mine, a guy who could go all the way. He may not lose because Parker Lewis certainly didn't. Core Nemec. I love words.
Yeah.
Guys and gals, don't call him an underdog or jabroni, as we stated earlier. Hauser Orlock is in this thing. He's in round number 2 as well. The first ever NBA draft pick in the very star-studded class of 2007. A man who graced the cover of many magazines, and a man, guys, who was heralded to be the next big thing in the NBA before a devastating injury derailed that career that was so promising. Mr. Greg Oden.
Big Greg.
Guys and gals and pals, you might know him as Jay Peterman from Seinfeld. I know him from his great many works on stage and Broadway. Mr. John O'Hurley, who can also introduce himself, guys. He loves self-made intros, guys and gals. He's in this thing. Guys, if you need a lifesaver, why not ask somebody who saved a lot of lives on the show Baywatch herself? Kelly Packard. And guys, she might be having some dreams of winning this tournament. We all know that she had plenty of dreams in the state of California in the mid-90s as she starred on that hit show, California Dreams. We also have a dear friend of mine who's going to be co-hosting her own show with me as well. Guys and gals, Mrs. Bueller, yes. Someone who, of course, had a great role in the movie Sleepwalkers, directed by our very own Mick Garris. Yes. Cindy Pickett. Cindy Pickett's in this thing.
Are you getting all these connections here?
Getting all these.
Guys and gals, he may be dancing and may be filled with joy and may be dancing the dance of joy as he did for 10 years on Perfect Strangers. An award-winning actor. We just saw him recently on Beverly Hills Cop 4, which was released. Bronson Pinchot.
Yes.
Another College Football Hall of Famer, guys and gals, Clinton Portis. An Engine member, Ramon. An Emmy Award winner a couple of times over, and one of the greatest talk show hosts of all time, Sally Jesse Raphael.
Yeah.
Guys and gals, we all know he could go all the way. Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer, Raven. A very decorated Olympian herself, Brittany Reese.
Yes.
The other half of Kid and Play, also a stand-up comic, also a man who wrote the theme song back in the day to Real Time with Bill Maher.
All right.
Christopher Kid Reed. Yes. Guys and gals, another Green Room original himself, Rock Richards. Another Green Room OG, Joe Risitano, host of the voiceover here on this network. Guys, there are two Roberts coming up, and they both could win this thing. Eric Roberts, who's been in more films than probably anybody that's alive today. And also, guys and gals, Golden Globe, I believe two-time Golden Globe nominee and an Oscar nominee as well, Mr. Eric Roberts. And man who's inspiring people to this very day in his speaking engagements, a WWE Hall of Famer, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yes.
Guys, and I'm only up to number 100. Only. A man, speak of inspiring, he inspired us. I choked up when he spoke about his late son, who is a legendary wrestler and a great human being, from all accounts, Bray Wyatt. Mr. Mike Rotunda, Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer, and also recently inducted into the WWE Hall of Famer. Mr. Mike Rotunda was IRS. Guys and gals and pals, just heard from today, a beautiful, remarkable human being, a man who could go all the way, a pro wrestling legend. Guys and gals, formerly known as the Mountie, Jacques Rougeau.
Félicitations, Jacques.
Let's go, Jacques.
The list
He
keeps
actually commented tonight.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Jacques is go all the way, and what a wonderful human being he is. Guys, a Super Bowl legend, Super Bowl MVP, and one of the greatest quarterbacks during the most competitive era where quarterbacks roamed and walked the earth. Mark Griffin.
Killed the Buffalo.
Currently in the WWE. Yes, currently in the WWE, guys. A week after he appeared in the celebrity tournament opposite John O'Hurley and Calvin Murphy. Guys and gals, a man who now has revived the Eric Rowan character, Mr. Joseph Rude. Man who had a 50-foot billboard. Did I? Did anybody? I don't think so. A man who graced Times Square with a 50-foot billboard and also a soap star, Antonio Sabato Jr.
Nice.
We got them all here. Soap stars. We got pro wrestlers. We got Howards. We got them all. Guys and gals and pals, someone who, again, in her prime, captivated the masses with her work ethic and desire to become a WWE star. She did just that, starting on Tough Enough, but also a fitness guru, if you want to call her that. I will. Mandy Rose Sacamano.
Right, indeed.
Guys and gals, the other half of the Nasty Boys, and man, did he pull the rib of all ribs on me? I think this man can go all the way as well. I've said that about a lot of people, but Jerry Sags brings it. What can I say? Mr. Nasty Boy himself, Jerry Sags. An NBA legend, another starting guard of the LA Lakers that's a part of this tournament, along with Michael Cooper, Byron Scott. Also former NBA coach and coach of the year. Coached the New Orleans Pelicans and the Hornets when they were the Hornets back then, I should say, and the New Jersey Nets.
Nice.
A third rounder for long? I don't know. Maybe a second rounder soon. Pete Sharpie. Pete Sharpie with Pete's perspective. Guys and gals, big shout out to his daughter Kelly, who watches sometimes as well, as Kelly White knows. WWE Hall of Famer, Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer. And guys and gals and pals, a G.I. Joe American hero and legend, Sergeant Slaughter.
Got one of those.
A man who was also a first overall pick in the NBA draft. Not many of those on planet Earth, but we got two of them in this tournament. 6'11", former Golden State Warrior star Joe Smith.
Let's go.
Guys, I need a lot of water after this. Believe me. Pro wrestling legend, spokesperson, author, comedian, and storyteller, Mr. Al Snow.
Woo.
And a man who Kelly White trained with back in the day. So Mr. Al Snow. A man, again, who I always known has a beautiful heart. I remember how he inspired me on stage many moons ago. We watched and participated in a play called Romeo and Juliet. Howard and I did. Mr. Jamie Sparling. Will we see him in the dojo soon? We might.
Ooh.
A WNBA great. She's considered, again, in the top 3 or 4 of greatest female players of all time. Cheryl Miller. Lisa Leslie. And then Cheryl Swoops.
Woo.
That's it. That's the short list of greatest female players of all time. And she's in this tournament, Cheryl Swoops.
Ooh.
A Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer, a dear friend, a man who also has a show with me on this great network under this amazing umbrella, a man who inspires the masses, a man who beat Lenny Wilkins in round 1, Magnum TA.
Nice.
NBA, ABA legend, guys, and a man who also has a show coming up on this network, Brian Taylor.
Ooh.
Another show on this network that speaks to many standout stories, a man who is considered an early favorite when the tournament first began and still probably is, Mr. Stephen Tobolowsky, a Tony Award nominee.
Yes.
Great story.
Yeah.
Wow.
We all love him. He's got the greatest top 10 list of all time. Chad top 10 is in this tournament.
Man.
Chad.
Absolutely.
Go Chad.
Chad.
Guys and gals, sometimes we're nice, sometimes we're naughty. That's just by nature. Mr. Tretch himself in this tournament. A man who nobody expected to see in this tournament because Tretch does not do a lot of appearances is in this. How about this? How about this? You want to talk about a favorite? You want to talk about the odds-on favorite maybe to win this entire thing?
Oh, man.
Oh.
A man who I know very well, a man who is a WWE Hall of Famer, a Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer, a former CNN talk show host, a man who also is a movie star, a man who has written 5 to 6 New York Times best-selling books, former governor and mayor, Mr. Jesse Ventura.
Bam.
Definitely.
A man who Howard has been waiting for me to call. JW. There's his name. I called it. JW.
See the initials.
Guys, and a very classy individual and also a multi-time award nominee, D. Wallace. A man who I personally predict to win the entire tournament. I'm saying it right now.
Oh.
The J's not silent. Kelly J. White. A third rounder who has worked very hard to win other challenges and tournaments outside of this tournament on the black box. Kelly J. White.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. Not many people are in the same Hall of Fame 3 times over, especially the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, one of the most heralded Hall of Fames of all time. A man who is in the Hall of Fame because he led the 1979 Seattle Supersonics to their lone NBA championship. A man who assistant coached the Dream Team, the greatest basketball team of all time. A man who was the all-time winningest coach for over 22 years in the NBA, Lenny Wilkins.
My God.
A man who I called up and then was told how passionate he was to win this thing, but there's only one issue. I had to call the MLB.
Ooh.
Because he currently plays for the MLB, the Milwaukee Brewers. Bryce Wilson, guys. Current MLB star.
Current MLB.
Man who co-hosts the show with me, guys. Scott Winters, A Better Day, a film and TV star as well. Guys and gals, we're up to W, guys, and we all know that this man is an encyclopedia of knowledge. A man who wrote the Oscars and won an Oscar for writing the Oscars. A man who wrote and pitched HBO's hit series Arliss that was on for about 9 years. Robert Wall himself. Great comedian. And guys, wind it down with a WWE Hall of Famer, a very humble human being, a man who's a living legend, Larry Zbyszko.
Wow.
I need to take a break, so I want you guys to please take over the mic, if you will, and react to that massive list that we read of second and third round participants in this tournament.
Jeez.
I don't even know where to start with that massive list. Avi's absolutely right. We have everyone from A to Z and everything in between. I think the only thing we're missing is a Q. Maybe an X.
At this point,
I don't.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think we're missing a Q and X. I don't think we have a Y.
Somewhere. I'm sure someone's coming in.
One will emerge. One will emerge.
Yeah, we got the 11th hour stuff coming up, so that may provide. Here's the thing, though. If you just printed that off and took it to anybody, anywhere, and said, where can you find all these people at once? There is only one answer. And just more people have to know it. Because, where else has this been done? When else has this been done?
Nowhere.
Back in the studios back in the 20s, they signed all their talent to the studio. But I don't think studios had 128 major players back then. They had, you know, maybe half a dozen, 10 if they were big. So, you know, you take the dream team, all the people on it, and they don't add up to 128.
Yeah.
No, but we have one of their coaches.
We got their winningest coach ever and several of their Hall of Famers.
And guys, if you really want to know the number now, it's 131.
Wow.
Ooh, because we added 3.
We got John Amos, Tone Loc, and Miranda now. So how about that? 131 names are in this tournament. And guys, a lot of different stipulations and rules. There'll be some wild card matchups where in a triple threat scenario, 1 out of 3 will only advance. We'll have fatal 4-way matchups where 4 people are in the tournament. 2 will advance, and then there'll be some where only 1 out of 4 will advance.
Oh my God.
So this thing's going to pick up a lot of steam real quick. A lot of names are going to be eliminated. So let's enjoy and savor this moment. And speaking of savoring some moments, guys, we savor the following moment because they speak to us in ways that we can't describe. So unfortunately, words sometimes fall short. And when they do, a picture is worth 1,000 words. But guess what? Luckily for us, a video is worth 1 million.
Makes you examine these supposedly negative and horrifying things from another perspective and say, yes, these are, you know, there is great pain in aspects to that, but he also said, look at the power of the human spirit, and more than just the spirit, the power of the mind, and distinguishing between the mind and the brain. Some people say that the brain is a computer, but he said, no, beyond that, there is something, there is deity within you, there is that, you know, that spark, that divine thing, and it stems from creation, that thing that is soul.
Back then, they had the NCAA tournament and they also had the NIT tournament. Most people don't realize that the NIT tournament was the more prestigious tournament of the two back in those.
Life becomes better when we share knowledge.
Put your hands together for a kind, legendary artist, the Doctor. First name Matt, last name Fink.
You are the greatest bio rapper I've ever met in my entire life.
Last name Cabrera, first name Ryan.
Whoa, dude, yo, if I ever need to find somebody, just in general, I am calling you.
They tell you that you're smart. They tell you that you're exposed. They tell you thank you for bringing everybody together.
Dakin, can helping others be a key to fulfillment and growth? Miles, can you please describe a moment in your life where something or someone in particular kept you going, my friend? But who would you select and why? Who would you select to go back in time and stay there for a while? And who would you select in the past, essentially, to bring into the future to help society, and why? Service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on Earth. The hero is the man who lets no obstacle prevent him from pursuing the values he's chosen. Life is a dream, realize it. Life is a sacrifice, offer it. Life is love, enjoy it.
Back then, they had the NCAA tournament, and they also had the NIT tournament.
Nice video. Wow.
Guys and gals, in case you ever want to know what the tournament's all about, all you have to do is listen to the people who are part of the tournament, like Kelly, Giselle, Howard. If you like competition, I gave you a little bit of an Easter egg there, another shot of Rick Barry at the end.
Oh.
I did that because I wanted to make sure you guys realize that there is information here, there is competition here, and you never know until you watch the very last second of a clip or a video. You never know what you might miss unless you watch the very last second of a broadcast. Anything could happen. Anything. We're going to end things out with an outro. We're going to close things out. But guys, as Kelly brought up earlier, he was right. Indie Tales. This Friday returns. We have been enjoying ourselves on the road. Kelly White, Pete Sharpie, myself, Howard, Giselle. Soon we're going to be seeing Joe on the road, Megan on the road, and Miranda on the road. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to be continue giving you great content. But we're also going to be giving you our hearts, because we trust you with our hearts. Sometimes in life we might mumble and stumble and fumble. Not me, I just mean the guy over here sitting in front. But that's not going to be a concern of ours, because we know that you guys can see our hearts, because it's on full display every day in our posts. And I want to talk about that for a second as we close out this show. I want you all to continue respecting those who post every day, like Kelly and Giselle and Howard. They put a lot of thought into those posts. They put a lot of thought because they want you to read their posts, because they want to share their thoughts with you, because your opinions matter and your comments matter. We're close. We're all close friends. So if we wanted to talk about something, we just pick up the phone or have a meeting or whatever. But because we value your opinions as well, those posts allow you to join in on the conversation. So please give them respect, because, again, they're doing this for you, and they're doing this because they love being able to help and assist as many people as they can in a fun and creative way, which is what TKN is all about, essentially. So with that, guys and gals, enjoy the outro. We'll give you a bit of a sneak peek into what we can expect next Saturday. But it's not business as usual, because the only thing for sure about TKN is nothing's for sure. I can tell you this, though, for sure, is that on September 7th, we're building up right now towards a colossal show. Because we haven't skipped an episode, because we've been live every single week for 4 years, because the growth has been incredible, I guarantee you the next 2 weeks are not filler shows. They're going to be a lot of fun to take in. And I guarantee you there'll be more, as there has been every week, more on the developments of JW and Howard, more on Kelly White and Buff Bagwell, more on Giselle and Pete, more on Hauser and Joe Rositano, should their match even take place next week. And if not, we certainly know that they have a lot to say to one another without words getting in the way. A lot more to come. So again, tune in for Fab Friday. You'll see JW in his show. You'll see Kelly White in Indie Tales. You'll see Pete's perspective. Megan in the Bloomosphere on the Sunday. Source will be Giselle and Paper Knife. Joe Rositano, the voiceover. And of course, guys, the Howard Show, which might become a relic of sorts. It might be nothing more than a show that succeeded in a bygone era. And that era may be now, Howard, unless you can get your act together. And if I were you, you're looking at me. You better look at Kelly White. Look in his direction, because he gave you some. Look in Kelly White's direction. I implore you, Howard. Look in his direction. Look at the man. He's looking at you. Turn your head and look at him. Other way. Kelly, final words for Howard?
Real simple, Howard. Nike figured it out. Just do it.
Giselle, any final words for Pete Sharpie?
I heard you this afternoon, Mr. Sharpie. I'm going through a lot right now. I'm not sure how I feel about this. But no matter what everybody else seems to think is happening, I've beaten you before. And I will do it again because I am not losing my round 3 spot. I was the one who opened the door for any of us to be in round 3. You don't want that chance taken away from everyone now, do you?
There's a certain someone I want to call out right now. We know his name, don't we? We haven't seen his face. Who am I referring to? A man who would pop up on the black box in the green room and deliver messages that were rather cryptic.
Avi, we've had a great show. There's no...
Who am I referring to?
Clay Rick Stevens.
I'm always a man of my word. So mark the calendar right now. Night number 2 of round number 2 is going to be September 28th. But it's also going to be the night we see Clay Brick Stevens for who he really is. That camera's going to go on, and that profile picture will not hide the identity of a man who's been haunting the masses and the green roomers for quite some time. So Clay, we're going to have a conversation. And I promise you, we're going to go real deep. Real deep. For Kelly White, Howard Collado, Giselle, Miranda, Tone Loke, and John Amos, who've all advanced to round number 2 of the celebrity tournament. And to a certain someone watching, I know he jokes when I call him a suit. I can't wait to bring you on this show very soon, because we're going to have a conversation and you'll get to meet our audience and you'll get to experience what we do here live. So a lot coming down the pike, guys and gals. Here's a bit of a sample, and here's your top 10. Here's a top 10 that you gave us as it pertains to the TKN Celebrity Tournament competitors. Your ranking from 10 to 1. Enjoy.
Obsession's going to be talent every time. You got all the talent in the world, but are you obsessed? Is it all you ever think about?
And every time you'd go to sleep at night, you'd see that wicked witch.
As angry as I've ever seen him now. He's been mad at you before, I know. Where Ric Flair is out of control.
And they said, you guys are heading into space. We don't care what you do on your own planet. Crips and the Bloods, the street gangs, well, they can be devastating to a certain small part of the population.
So buses couldn't get under them. So only people in cars at the time could make it to the Robert Moses Beach.
The producers, Stan Ludkowski and Lindsay Law, who courageously nurtured this project to fruition.
I signed with the Atlanta Falcons that year. Was coming back to some of the campuses in 1997.
The biggest game at the biggest time, and our biggest guys came out to play.
Francis of Assisi, who's the patron saint of animals. I'm a huge animal lover.
My good friend Terry Nickish was a high jumper on that team, and when I was a kid, I wanted to be Dwight Stones, who was the greatest high jumper in the world.
Man, I would kill for that schedule.
Me too, man. Oh, I'm telling you, me too.
I think that children, even nowadays, it's even harder, you know, because of social media and all of these other platforms.
Straight Into Darkness is such a wonderful, heartbreaking, to me it's a heartbreaking song.
Awful. What type of sick, handsome maniac could be causing all this havoc?
Look at it, at best, if you cut it down a little bit, the best you can do with it is make a tiny forest in your carpet for your kid to play with their little tiny figurines with.
How to behave. That's a very, very unappreciated. And of course, teachers are extraordinarily underpaid.
Yeah, I admire your sand, but I believe you will find I'm not liable for such claim.
If we don't hear one another, how do we help one another?
More than anything, it gave me a sense of pride and a better understanding of who I am.
Martin Luther King gave his life so that everybody could be together, and damn if they aren't.
Like MC Hammer, any of that Old Town stuff, then it's legit as well. That can be Tupac or Too Short.
Your brother's choking on the raisins. And Scott goes, well, take them away from him.
Jimmy Garvin, you're stepping into another ozone when you step in the ring with the varsity club.
But it's like, I don't even plant a seed unless I'm prepared for it. And then I leave that seed alone because I don't expect nothing of that seed.
But tough love it's really is important when it comes to kids. And I pray that I don't have to really do the hard ones.
Baywatch, this is Kaminsky. I've got a rip pulling off of Tower 7. I'm gonna have to hit the water.
It's the guy who's willing to die who's gonna win that itch. And I know if I'm gonna have any life anymore. You gotta look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. Now I think you're gonna see a guy who will go that inch with you.
You know what? Maybe one of the world's problems will get solved by listening to this show.
Avi, I'm gonna win this whole thing. Watch.
I know you are, Tom. I know you are.
Wow, that's interesting. I, almost have to give you props for that. You actually had the cojones to show up in my neighborhood. But allegedly, you're telling everybody that you're out here, but I'm out here too, and I don't see you, and clearly you didn't see me. So next time, Howard, if you want to come out to my neck of the woods, if you want to come out to the Rock, if you want to hit this beachfront, look a little harder next time, bro.